Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. Sir, you're also with especially aggravated kidnapping. Sir, you're also with especially aggravated kidnapping. Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault. And you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
We will bring the jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
That's literally not true.
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Is that correct?
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Just messing up as usual in the morning. How's your morning going, everybody? Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you.
Hello.
Sounds like technical difficulties. It sounds like a snafu situation. Oh, man. I fixed it. All right. Good morning. Having my kind of Tuesday. Well, the problem is I had your kind of Monday yesterday. And now I'm having your kind of Tuesday. I don't want any, Regina, I don't want any more of these kinds of days. We need to change this around. All right, big welcome to Kim R16. Kim, congratulations, you were first in chat today. Very promptly saying, GM, I think that meant good morning. Could mean other things. But Kim, we're going to punish you for your promptness. Everything up here related worldwide is your responsibility. Congratulations and good riddance. All right, nice of RA to let me finish Kathy's new video before he came on. Sarah, I was just waiting for the go-ahead. As soon as I got the signal, we roll tape. That's what we do. That's how we roll around here. So that is wonderful. I'm glad you got to finish it, Kathy. True, I'm sure you're talking about Kathy from Gossip Rumor and Innuendo and GRI. So that's the only Kathy that's worth watching, I think, unless there's another one. If there's another Kathy out there, let me know.
But satisfied, you must find the defendant not guilty.
That's the wrong one. Let's do this one. Okay. All right. We're going to be going to court here in just a moment. Bing. See, like that court. But before then, we have to do a couple things to get the day started. They've got about 8 minutes before court kicks off. And so...
Happy birthday.
Yes.
You look good.
Judge Fleischer weighs in. Birthdays. Great reminder, Judge Fleischer. Great reminder. Is there anyone who has a birthday today? If so, we're going to celebrate this wonderful occasion in song, in the usual method. And Red Pen comes through right on cue. Red, thank you very much. Happy birthday to Cheryl, my dog Rocket.
Have them send someone with
I'm thinking it's actually Red's dog, because then you got Red Rocket. that's just cool. And Paul 90. So we've got a couple of people to sing to today. So by we, I mean all of us, wherever you are. If it's legal and you're able, stand up, take a breath, shoulders back, project your voice to the back of the room, blend your voice with a neighbor, and warm up with me if you will. La 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 la. That'll do. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Cheryl, my dog Rocket, and Paul 90. Happy birthday to you. I have to say my dog Rocket, because you can't just say Rocket. I guess you could, but when you're mad at it, it's like, oh, that's my dog Rocket. Yeah, okay, got it. Rocket, happy birthday. Cheryl, Paul 90. To everyone who's celebrating birthday today, happy birthday. I realize there are a million places you could be, a million people you could have celebrated with, but you chose to be right here with us. The privilege, pleasure, the honor, the joy, that is ours. Hopefully we can turn that back to you, make your day just a little more special. And begin by helping yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP, Village Inn, Waffle House, McDonald's, Tammy Dunlop's House, Andy's Grill, Bob Evans, and Cracker Barrel. There we go. Got hung up there right in the middle. Lots of places to get pancakes, so no excuse if you don't get some. Just like you practiced. Here we go. Dancers doing their thing with the ponies. Happy birthday to all. Grandpa mind. I have not done the grandpa command yet. I'm not sure if I ever will. Whoa. Red. It's a big fish. I think I saw that before. I'm just wondering why you have like a Ken doll with beach surfer hair in the picture. Is that for scale? And by the way, I am going with striped bass or white bass. Striped or white. It's not a wiper. Because actually the stripes on a wiper are not as defined. Is it striped bass? All right. Oh, somebody's got injury on the dancer's row. Everyone be careful. There's no insurance here. Don't get hurt. All right, drum solo for the big finish. Here we go. Yellow striped bass. There we go. Great pictures. All right, we are going back to court where, if you saw the thumbnail today, Red added just a little touch of class on this thumbnail with the
happy birthday. You look good.
The faint distant image of an old time train wreck. The kind where the cars went everywhere and people are standing around and bodies are strewn here helter skelter. Yeah, she added that to it because this trial has been a train wreck already. We're only on day one. I think the state will probably rest today. Honestly, I think they're nearly done. The state is moving quickly, but defense is going to have a turn, and that could grind things to a terrible halt. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. But buckle up. That's all we'll say is buckle up. It's gonna be a wild day. We're gonna go back to court right now. The defendant here, Mr. Kevin. I can never pronounce this name. I just can't. It's Kevin Lychwick. Lychwick. The judge couldn't get it either. As a matter of fact, Kevin had to correct the judge on the pronunciation at one point. We started this counting on this trial. We started counting how many times the defendant was educated in the ways of the law, because that's typically what happens when you have a pro se defendant. We ended up going to objections. So now on the objection counter, let's see, there should be 10. Oh, there are 10. And let me there's the title up there. That's our objection counter. I'll move the mouse so it doesn't look funky. Why though? Oh, I thought that shading was like my overlay, but it's not. That's actually the courtroom wall. 10 objections, which is remarkably low considering the opportunities they've had. There have been a lot. Debris counter is at 14 too. Oh my goodness, we should have counted debris. What is his motive? Why have they said there's no motive? Because according to Kevin, he doesn't even know the guy. He didn't even see his picture until this court case. I think the bigger issue in this case, which sort of got glossed over, it caught my attention when it happened, when it was said in court, but it got glossed over a little bit. When they brought in the dog to do like a little bit of sniffing around, see if there's, what it can find, because it's a cadaver dog. They're like, just heads up. And I forget the exact number, but I think it was something like, we've had 7 previous mysterious death investigations in this apartment complex area. So the dog might hit on some other areas, okay, because there have been a lot of bodies lying around. It just happens. It's just something about the area. I'm like, excuse me, 7? And one of your tenants is currently missing what? For how long? Is this a murder village? What in the world? Do we have a serial killer who limits his victims to one particular 16-unit apartment complex? How do you have so many? I mean, something is just something is off there. And we're avoiding the elephant in the room. The state sort of glossed over this fact like it's like, yeah, this is normal. It's not. It is not. I don't know what to make of it, but I think we might have to do some deep dives into a bunch of other unexplained deaths in the area and try to figure out if there are some similarities and just how closely maybe the defendant knew them. Maybe they've got the right guy. They just didn't catch him soon enough. I don't know. That would be my entire defense. It's like, look, everybody's dying. You just come up, everybody's dying around here. It just happens. There's a good chance I'm going to be the next one. As a matter of fact, the defendant actually said, you could be, you're wasting your time on me. You should be out catching the real guy or guys. He thinks there's a whole team of people out there slaying apartment dwellers in the 16-unit apartment complex. It's a murderplex. So that happened yesterday. If you missed that, that's worth going back for. Time to move out. You can't leave. The one lady, I don't know, maybe it's her. I'm just saying, let's consider all possible suspects. One lady's been there for like 36 years. I think her time in the unit as the apartment manager, the one in charge with the keys to all the units, it has spanned all the deaths. Coincidence? Possibly. All right. You can check it anytime you like, but you can never leave. I see the makings of a movie. It's a horror movie. Maybe Glenda really is not the good witch. Solved it. Did I crack the case? Hey, don't keep this here on my desk for nothing. Maybe the murders will stop. If they don't, there's our sign. But update on a couple things. First of all, the boat case. As best I can tell, the judge will not allow the video of that trial to be streamed while chat is active on that channel. And this needs to go through lawyers and a little bit of a fight because the judge will the judge will lose on that point, but could win on the bigger game. If she loses that point, she'll just kick cameras out of the courtroom, which she can do. So the only way forward, I see this, without causing problems for everyone, is if we were to watch it on catch-up after the trial is over, which we don't do very often because, spoiler alert, there are spoilers. We might have to miss that trial because I know there are people out there who are using chat and streaming the trial and like, hey, no problems. I can't be the one that is the problem. And honestly, we're a little bit more notable as far as the number of people watching than other channels that are streaming it. So we just can't be that guy. We have to follow the rules, and that's what we do. So the big channels are there. Obviously, the conglomerate Law and Crime Court TV present as Pool as well. So if we do catch up, if we follow that trial, I will have to turn chat off for the whole trial. It will just be me talking to myself, staring at the wall, listening to court with no feedback, unless it's through the burner phone. Now maybe we could do something else where, no, that would be terrible. I was thinking we could do it on StreamYard and just invite people in to talk about it. We could have guests, people talking. It doesn't fit our format very well as long as the judge has that rule in place. And until the rule's gone, after the verdict, we can do it. But I happen to know that none of y'all like watching a trial where the verdict's already decided. I know that because YouTube is kind enough to give me metrics on everything. And when we follow a trial where we are behind and the verdict's already done, y'all aren't here. You don't want to watch it. It's like, seen it, done it, know what happens next. So that's where we're at. I told you to give you updates. I just can't see a way around that unless the judge changes the rules. Because we're nosy freaks, says Gals Pals. That's why. We're nosy freaks. The metrics are really bad on trial replay. Like, yeah. I would say we get less than 5% of our views on rewatch. If you're not here live, you probably aren't watching. Now, there are some notable exceptions. There are some great individuals that are always on lurking on rewatch because of their schedule or something else, and you're amazing. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. But mostly, you all want to see it live, and I do too. I'm with you. All right. So if you want to watch it, that case, obviously it's being streamed by it's on Law and Crime Court TV, a couple other news channels down in the area. I think it's trying to see who it is. I don't know what the audio is. Is it terrible? Yeah, it needs help. It needs help down there a little bit, but anyway, it's no fun knowing how it ends before watching it, right? That's 50% odds in a 16-unit place. How long have these tenants been there? It's odd that the lady had keys to the victim's apartment. Strange. Defense Diaries is doing it, but they have to do it without chat. And I think he's doing like team coverage, which is great. Michelle, I'm looking very closely at doing that because that's going to be a very different trial to how it was before. Donnie, not Wahlberg, welcome to the gallery, my friend. Welcome. Good to have you here. Officially as a member, you can never leave now. Let's see. This is going to be a fun case for sure. We're just getting to the good parts. I give it 50% odds as if they can complete the boat trial. Well, day one, the defendant broke down crying, like right in front of the jury. Like, I don't know how else to call it other than ugly crying, right? There's crying and then there's ugly crying, and this was ugly crying. Will I do a little boost on my volume? Boost. I can just talk louder as well, which is also an option. No tears seen, right? This case has captivated me. Well, it's about to start. We're 6 minutes late. I'm wondering if the jury member maybe took a wrong turn this morning. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's go. I need to go over here. Is that it? Don't be that guy. Donnie, thank you very much. I shan't be that guy. Stopped crying as soon as the jury left. Well, he was basically facing the jury head up the whole time he was crying, so it was an interesting look for sure. Just a slow start this morning. Crying face, but no tears. I can't judge people's crying. I'm not a good judge of that, but he had the appearance of being crying. Carmelo jury will be sequestered if we don't reach a verdict today, so they don't see all the news coverage. Man. Like he was hyperventilating, judge said he needed to get a hold of himself. Carmelo defense really fell apart yesterday. Let's see. What is this? Why is it saying lockdown enabled, shield mode is on? Oh, this is Give you a second.
Hello.
Have them send someone with more experience.
Hush! Now I'm trying to have court. You don't raise your voice again.
You are banished from the state of Georgia.
There's nothing in the order that restrains you from talking to cats.
Thank you.
Remember in the beginning when we started 110 years ago?
All right, I'm trying to figure out what just happened here.
The zombie apocalypse may be upon us.
It's pretty serious, guys. Hang on.
I was told council wanted to see me inside back.
Scratch all that. Oh, that was terrible. I apologize.
It hasn't been fixed.
If they didn't, I would lose my mind.
Hello.
All right. Okay, sorry, I'm a little distracted trying to get some things sorted.
Happy birthday. You look good.
If you could just use your words.
Hadn't started yet, so yeah, I was good with that. Yeah, I'm checking to see if there's any evidence that somebody's trying to hack me or has got some access they shouldn't have. Yeah, put in a ticket. Wait, yeah, as if that was an option. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Greeners. I'm trying to figure out. I got a new update on Lumia Stream today, and I'm worried that that it triggered something that it shouldn't have. So I'm looking at the commands there. All right, sorry. This morning's been a little crazy. We're about to we're about to
Thank
start.
you, sir. You're my new best friend.
Okay, I can seeing the queue, watching the chat bot. YouTube command. It's coming through Lumia Stream. Okay. It's a new feature from Lumia Stream. It's enabled Twitch shield mode to block new and risky accounts from chatting during a raid. Okay. That's a Lumia Stream feature. Okay, that scared me to death. That was like lose your channel type seriousness. If somebody can control my channel without my consent, that's a problem. But it was Lumia Stream with doing its regular update where it just added features that I don't want and turned them on by default. So that was it. Can you hear me now? Check 1 2 1 2. What did I miss? Lumia Stream. A raid is a Twitch term. It's like where we portal here, where we portal to somebody else's channel. A raid is a Twitch term for that same thing.
I'm not going to argue about semantics here.
And there are some protections set up on Twitch's side because Twitch is doing a lot. Twitch is like YouTube. It's a streaming platform, typically geared more to gamers and weird things. But when they detect that there are a lot of potential bot accounts in your viewership, they can punish your channel for that. And so they give controls to the Twitch streamer to make it so that new channels don't just pop up and look like bot accounts. It's weird. It's a weird system, but I think that tool was designed for that. Anyway,
Scratch all
can we just start over? Yes.
I apologize.
Let's go from the very, very beginning. I'll just we'll start right here and I'll roll it. No, we'll be okay. I just had to dig through the logs to figure out what was actually happening. So found it. Birthday song again. Red, by the way, is it your dog? Did I miss that?
Happy birthday. You look good.
Is it your dog?
Remember in the beginning when we started 110 years ago?
I'm wondering if the trial's just going to go off the rails today. If we're going to lose it. It was a little complicated, but the ulcer I developed in the last 15 minutes was worse. I can't tell you the number of times I get, or the number of times a day, I can probably count actually, number of times a day I get emails, very good emails, that are scams, that are trying to hack my channel, that are trying to signed me up for a contract in some sort of weird ambassador / agent deal where they take 30% of everything or half of everything.
You don't put a diplomatic plate on a hoop.
Tons of them. I got one yesterday from a guy, very well written, claiming that I used his music in my last video, and that we could sort this out. I'm not trying to make a big deal of it. Just let's sort this out on the side so I don't have to take the next steps. Basically, threatening legal action. Bummer for them. I only use YouTube library audio in my videos or stuff that I've created myself through Suno. So he gets my emails. Yes. Anyway, so I get tons of scams. My son called me yesterday, as a matter of fact, saying, "Hey, we just got a call. His wife was in trouble for missing jury duty." And he's like, "We're not sure what we're supposed to do." And I said, "Well, you hang up on them. Because if they're calling saying you have to pay a fee or get arrested, it's a scam." He's like, "That's what it was." So, prayers for my new filly. Oh, lost one of the Colts 2 nights ago to lightning. Oh, man. And in bad storms today. Praying lightning doesn't strike twice. Oh, my goodness, Weebug. I am so sorry. So I see you're getting my emails. You're using my breath. I'm suing. That's pretty much how it is. Long delay this morning. We're 21 minutes late for start. I'm worried that we're not going to make it to trial at all. So the judge appears to be possibly in a back room with prosecution and the defendant, sorting out some issues, which is sort of funny because he's in custody and he gets to go back in judge's chambers to work out some deals. I am so cautious. I mean, one of the reasons why we haven't done any brand deals is that I will not, if it even looks the slightest bit suspicious, I'm not doing anything. So, too many people have lost their channel and had to fight like crazy to get it back. The defendant may be protesting. That would be interesting. Someone called me and I said, could I borrow up to $40,000? And said I could borrow up to $40,000, but hung up after I told them I was homeless and lost my Social Security card. Yeah. Vivacious thunderstorms. Willow Johnson, what a great word for the day. Vivacious. He wants so bad for the jury to know he's in jail. The judge warned him about that, but he's like, I am here in custody. I know I've been modding for 4 months and he hasn't lost the channel. You all lost that bet. I think they lost it after month 1, Greeners. Thank you, my friend. Taxi Horses, thank you very much for the super chat. Better finish the trial today. Severe storms in Wisconsin tomorrow. We might, if we can ever get it started. Let's see if we can check the interwebs for any updates up there. Don't think we have any court watchers up there yet in Wisconsin. Let's see. Latest. Don't see any updates yet this morning. We know the courtroom's open at least because the cameraman's there and turned on the camera, the feed. El Roth, you might go up there. That would be awesome if you have a chance. Land's going to be there this afternoon as well. That'll be cool. Mossy Pickle, it sucks when adulting gets in the way of having fun. But somebody has to do the jobs. Trying to get him to make a deal. I'll tell you, I'm almost by myself today. I have the contractors working outside on the house. My second oldest son is in the front room monitoring the door, so when they knock, I have to run out and pay them because they should be done today. And he's working because he's doing an internship right now, so he's working remotely for an internship, which is the best deal ever. I mean, a remote internship, that's money. And Mrs. R.A. took the rest of the kids to the beach, so they're enjoying the North Carolina coastline. Virginia Little, member for 26 months. I've been popping in and out for the last couple of weeks. Love this channel. Glad to be back. Thank you, Virginia. Good to have it here. 26 looks good on you. You are an OG. How can RA be alone with all of us here? I know. I'm never really alone. Did I hear you say you're moving? That's the goal, Aunt Karen. But the problem is, I live in a house that was built in 1915, and so it is a constant battle to keep it from, basically falling apart. And so we're doing just so much work, so much painting, drywall, mudding. Just the house needs some work. It needed work when I got here, but we've done a ton. We've completely renovated and remodeled the kitchen. Both bathrooms, the garage, which was dilapidated, we turned into a state-of-the-art, high-end, beautiful 2-bedroom Airbnb, and now I'm repainting. I've repainted a couple of rooms. I'm mudding and patching and everything else. We redone the deck, the stairs. We painted the stairs this last weekend. That was Mrs. R.A. The platforms the lions sit on the front step, we've got those painted. Airbnb is a big bonus for selling. We're hoping so, Lois, because if it's not, we can't afford to move anywhere. Buying a house is so dang expensive. I know. We were fortunate. We moved out of Utah when the housing boom was blowing up. So we bought our house for what at the time was all the money we could possibly scrape together. And obviously we got a mortgage. I think we were able to put down we got 10% down because we had saved a lot of money. And bought a house, and then the values just shot up. I mean, it was ridiculous how much we could sell it for when we finally moved out here. So we sold it, and that enabled us to buy our house here, free and clear, which was amazing. It's something we always wanted. We wanted to, to be out of debt that way. So we bought our house here for all the money we could possibly scrape together after we sold our other house, and then slowly, as we could save money, have been fixing this house up. The problem is this house has not appreciated like the last one did, and so we're hoping that we can sell it a little above the break-even point and be able to afford another house without getting another mortgage. So, Chris Wallace, we're actually not telling people where we're moving to for two reasons. One, we don't know. That's probably the biggest factor right now. And two, we've had some security issues, some concerns. I don't share them all here on the channel, but we've had some security issues that were related to me being pretty public about where I live, and so we're keeping it on the down low. You'll probably find out the general state or area at some point by the next post office box. That's what's going to give me away. I vowed to get a post office box no further than one state away from my actual place we live in. So, what area we're looking? We'd like to go west. We've got family in Idaho, so we can't afford Utah again. The prices have quadrupled since we sold, and there's just no way we can get back into that market. As far south as Texas, as far north, I've looked at Wyoming and Montana. We skipped over Colorado for some reason. Bought a brand new 3D printer. Got the Bamboo Lab A2. Nice. Bamboo Lab makes some good ones. I promise to stop turning up unannounced. Okay. But no, it's good. We've loved living here. Nebraska, there's an option. We drove through a lot of places. I liked Tennessee. Tennessee was beautiful. I don't think, was it Illinois? One of the states we did not like, I forget. I think it was West Virginia. I think West Virginia was a rough one. And we're grading all the states basically on the quality of the roadside restrooms. So I realize there are some other factors that probably should be considered when you're judging an entire state. But roadside restrooms we figured was a good indicator of how the rest of the state was, because that's all we were seeing as we were driving through. What does that mean for the YouTube channel with the time zones? It means I might have to wake up earlier. Kate, we're still going to follow trials the same as we always have. It's not going to change dramatically which trials we follow, although it could slightly change if we're going to be there in person. Iowa is lovely. Indiana. Stay away from Illinois. I thought Tennessee has fairly low cost living. Mrs. R.A. is not a big fan of the cold. That's why she's at the beach today and not ice fishing. Don't come to Virginia. Actually, Virginia is beautiful. I love the whole East Coast. Everything I've seen is just gorgeous. And Virginia, I'm not a big fan of the cops up there. They're really strict on their speed limits and everything else. But beautiful, beautiful country up there. I would like a little more open space, though. More federal recreational land nearby. That's why I reside here in Tennessee. All my exes live in Texas. Yeah. I don't even know where any of my exes are. I mean, exes as ex-girlfriends. Just thinking, there's not a single one that I stayed in any way connected with. I guess when I burn a bridge, I burn the bridge. There's no rebuilding. So, I don't know where my exes are. Maine or Montana, both beautiful states. Montana, Big Sky, Montana is beautiful. Wondering if court's even going to start today. If I hadn't chosen Arkansas, I would have gone to Tennessee. We really love Tennessee. Problem is that's just not far enough west for us. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump over. That's one state over. You know, it's not really moving back west. Move to Arkansas so you can get those chase videos. That would be a nice perk. That would be awesome. Stay out of Northwest Arkansas. It's grown so much along with the cost of living. Blame Walmart for that, right? That's where Walmart is. In front of the Walmart. What are we waiting for? We're waiting for court to start. It's now 10:04. We're half an hour late. I think the judge was pretty clear on when we were going to start today, but so far nothing and no word from court at all about the delay. My ex-husband randomly messaged me a pic of a cat on a boat a couple months ago. Last I heard, he's married in Mississippi. I blocked him. There you go. No more cats on boats. Are you thinking this is a forever move or just another stop on the way to somewhere else? Shane, great question. We thought the home we lived in before we moved here was going to be our forever home. As a matter of fact, we were so confident it was. We replaced the roof. We built a brand new, gorgeous second-story deck. We replaced all the carpets and pads and redid the kitchen with, the big 18-inch fancy tile and new countertops and everything. We were like, this is our home. Why not to get it the way we want it? And as soon as we were done, we both just felt quite strongly that it was time to move, and didn't know where. I missed CC last night on the Anthony trial. You guys should come visit us in Alaska. Okay, I've got my business partner with our Airbnb. My business partner is in Alaska, in Barrow, Alaska. Actually, not actually Barrow, but like the place, like the farthest north village in Alaska. That's where he is. I kid you not. He's at the very top of the world. And he moved there. It's not to visit. He moved there. And his plan is to live there for 5 years. And it's quite a difference. He sent a video of life up there and what it's like, and it's crazy. Just you don't judge your days by the sun position, because some days it doesn't come up and some days it doesn't go down. Depending on the season. Anyway, he's super excited. He's a big hunter and fisher, so that's like home sweet home for him. I mean, he's going to get to help the village with the whale harvest or whatever, because they spear whales. Or it's crazy. It's going way back. Everyone who helps with the whale gets whale blubber to put in their buried freezer. My dad's works up there. He loves it. His wife is a traveling nurse, and so she's a nurse up there, helping the community, and he's just doing what he does. Can't believe it's only 10 objections. I imagine one probably happened this morning about it being so late. We'll see. I'd love to go back home to Oregon, but I guess I'll stay in Massachusetts with Lee. Crafter Shells. I think Lee appreciates that. We've got family up in the Pacific Northwest. Got a sister up there. Barrow is the pronunciation. Why do they spell it Barrow then? They spear whales, hopefully not for fun. In Germany, 2 millionaires just spent millions to rescue a stranded whale. Was a big story over here. That's awesome. I'm not a big kill the whales person, but this is a native community that harvests whale for survival, and I'm not going to take that away from them. I'm not a big fan of moving either. It sucks. And the boxes don't get any lighter over time. You just get more and more crap. Last time we moved, since we have some time before court starts, last time we moved, my wife had just watched some video about, I don't know, I thought it was like harikari, but I think that's a method of ending it for yourself. No, it was something else, but it's where you get rid of all the stuff in your life that doesn't bring you joy. Somebody knows the name of that. And at the time, there was not much stuff that brought Mrs. R.A. joy. And so, there it is. Lychwick. That's the name. That's the place. The condo. Yeah, Marie Kondo. Is that the one? That was her. So before we moved, she basically went through every room in the house.
The state of Wisconsin versus Kevin Lychwick,
24 CF 1881. Appearances, please.
He looks
State appearance
different.
by Chelsea Thompson and Dan Tombasco. Also at council table is Detective Ben Stern. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Lychwick, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Nothing, Your Honor. I'm not well. I need to lay down.
Okay.
I protest these proceedings. I'm being railroaded. I am not prepared to defend myself in this manner.
Mr. Lychwick, we'll get to that in just one moment. Attorney Thompson.
You hamstringed me every attempt I've made to defend myself. You've denied me my rights of the disposal of tampered evidence and the dismissal of this case. It should never have come this far.
Mr. Lychwick,
I am not feeling well today.
Mr. Lychwick,
You have dragged me here and brutalized me. Look at this. Look what they did to me. Offered no resistance. They dragged me out of my bed. I question your rationality, sir.
Mr. Lychwick, I will let you be heard, but I want to warn you first that if you are speaking out of turn or speaking disruptively or yelling or otherwise causing a disturbance, I may have to remove you from the courtroom. I will let you be heard. I'll let you make a record. Now is not the time to do that, though, okay? Attorney Thompson, is the state in victim rights compliance?
Yes, we are.
All right, we're here for day 2 of the trial. It's now 9:10 a.m. We were scheduled to begin at 8:30 a.m. We got off to a little bit of a late start. Earlier, the court was advised by my deputies that Mr. Lychwick was still remaining in his cell. He was not dressed, and he was refusing to come to court. I had my deputies check with the jail staff to see whether Mr. Lychwick needed more time, whether he was going to voluntarily come up to court, or what the situation was. So we gave Mr. Lychwick about another 35 minutes or so while we explored some other options of how he could be produced for this trial if necessary. So Mr. Lychwick, what would you like to say about your condition today and your ability to proceed to trial?
Well, thank you for letting me finally speak, Your Honor. Again, I reiterate what I first said when I entered here. I am not well today. I need to lay down and rest.
Why is that?
That is the utmost, that is the primary topic right now.
Why do you feel that you need to lay down and rest?
Because I'm sick. For one thing, I have a tear in my belly that needs to be repaired. And I refuse to take responsibility for the delays in the length of these proceedings because I needed medical attention. And you're saying I put it off. I did not. I did not receive the proper consultation. I wasn't even allowed to consult with another doctor before I had the last procedure done that I needed. And I have not received all the surgeries that I need. I again reiterate, I have a tear in my belly. That might be part of the cause. I am exhausted. How would you like to sleep for 18 months, Your Honor, a concrete slab, being starved, tortured with lights on you, 24 hours a day, guards harassing you when you're on the toilet? Can't even shower in peace or sleep in peace. I can't take this anymore.
Okay, Mr. Lychwick, you've made your record previously when the court has heard your concerns about your medical condition. We've taken testimony previously from the jail administrator. We've heard evidence from your treating physician. And the court has already made rulings about your condition leading up to the case, the previous delays in the case, and the readiness for trial this week. So that matter has already been settled. What I'm concerned about is your present condition today and why you think you have an inability to continue today, this morning.
You're being harassing, Your Honor. I just told you you're making me repeat myself. That's harassing. I reiterate. I am exhausted, and I am not well, and I'm nauseous. I have a rip in my belly. What more do you want me to say, Your Honor?
Okay.
I don't mean to raise my voice. I am exasperated. I feel that I am not speaking to somebody who's rational at this point. I don't think you can. You're hearing what you want to hear. So at this point, you know, you're trying to make a fool out of me on top of it. I refuse to be part of this. You're railroading me, I say again. My constitutional rights and my Eighth Amendment rights, for one, under the Constitution, are being violated. My human rights.
Mr. Lychwick, I'm going to give you a few different, I understand, I'm going to give you a few different options. I'll let you know, though, that every one of those options leads to the same conclusion and endpoint, which is that the trial is going to continue today and will continue this week. So here are the options that I'm going to present to you. Number one, we can give you a little bit more time this morning to compose yourself, to do what you need to do, to get dressed into your suit that you were in yesterday, because I'll make a record that today you are in the jail orange and we produced you in a wheelchair. You've been handcuffed for the safety of everyone because we don't know what condition you're in or what your attitude was going to be. So I can give you more time to compose yourself, to get ready for trial this morning, maybe until about 10 a.m. That's another 45 minutes. You can freshen up. You can get dressed into your street clothes and resume the trial in the chair at counsel table with your legs secured to the floor like you were yesterday. So there's no outward sign that you're in custody. That's option number one. Option number two, if you're not going to refuse, or if you're going to refuse option number one, is we can keep you in the courtroom as you are now. You're going to be obviously in jail orange. You're obviously going to be in a wheelchair, and we can, I'll defer to my deputies, but we can likely make arrangements for just the leg shackle to be used. But then you are going to be viewed as in custody by the jury. We can give them a cautionary instruction to make sure that that's not used against you in any way. But again, as I said yesterday, efforts were undertaken to make sure the jury was aware that you are not aware that you are in custody. So that would certainly change today. That's option number two. Option number three is if you are going to be disruptive in court today, I may have you produced in one of the holding cells in the bullpen here. It's a white room. It doesn't have any outward signs, at least while it's displayed on video, that you would be in custody. I would give you the option to be in that room dressed in civilian clothing, or you could appear in your jail orange there. You would have all your materials there. We could still make arrangements for you to have access to standby counsel. If you want standby counsel to consult with you on anything, we could put you in a breakout room over video for that. And then you would participate in this trial by video. So you would be displayed on the video screens. The jury would see you on their screens. We would see and hear you. You could still make objections. You could still interject. You could still cross-examine witnesses just like you would if you were in the courtroom. That's option number three. Option number four is
so many choices.
The most drastic option, really, Mr. Lychwick, and that is that if you refuse to participate and conduct yourself accordingly, I may have to have you removed from the courtroom and just not produced at all for your trial. In which case, there is a way that the court could make findings that the trial would have to proceed with you in absentia. The reason why that is a very drastic remedy here and a drastic option, Mr. Lychwick, is because you are representing yourself. And you would not have the benefit of an attorney continuing to represent your interests at trial if you are not here in person. You have standby counsel. I likely would not have Attorney Galaviz suddenly become your advocate counsel and advocate for you because you specifically wanted Attorney Galaviz to withdraw. You wanted to represent yourself. I took the colloquy of your waiver. I find that you are still competent to represent yourself. You asked good questions yesterday. You raised objections yesterday. You gave an opening statement. You're clearly qualified and competent to represent yourself. So I would not have Attorney Galaviz step in and represent your interests, which means that there just would be no presence by the defense. I don't want to exercise that option. That would be only in the event that you're unable to comport yourself and abide by my rules and abide by decorum in the court. So those are essentially your four options, Mr. Lychwick. Do you want time today until about 10 o'clock to get into civilian clothes, freshen up, get your materials up here into court, and continue with the trial?
This is not rational. You haven't listened to a word I said, Your Honor. With all due respect to the court and the people of Waukesha County, I am not up to being here today. I need to lay down and rest. I am not well. That's all I can say. I've said it before. I've said it twice since I came in here. I've told your deputies and the jail staff at least 4 times on the way up here, and the fact that they were hurting me. So I'm not being heard. You're refusing to listen to me. What more can I do?
Mr. Lychwick, I'll ask you again. Do you want time this morning to get into civilian clothes, to freshen up, to meaningfully participate in your case this morning in court like you were yesterday? Are you going to answer?
I've tried to answer. You won't listen to me.
Okay. Well, Mr. Lychwick, well, the trial is going to proceed whether or not you are actively participating or whether you're protesting or refusing to participate. So now the question is, do we have you stay there in your wheelchair, secure, in jail clothes, so that at least you're in the courtroom and can choose to participate when and if you feel like participating? Do you want to remain in the courtroom, or would you rather be in the holding cell by video?
This is not rational. I've answered your question already 3 times. I don't know what else to say. I need to lay down, Your Honor. I need to go back to my cell and lay down. That's all I can tell you. When I feel better, I'll let you know. That's all that's the final word here. I don't know what else to do.
Well, that's why I'm offering Mr. Lychwick to delay this a little bit more this morning, to give you an opportunity to freshen up, to do what you need to do and get into civilian clothes, and then come back in the courtroom and participate. But we can't put the trial off today just because you don't feel well. I'm willing to give you more time this morning, but it's going to resume this morning, probably about 10 a.m. We'll bring the jury in. They've been waiting patiently for 50 minutes now. I can have them wait a little bit longer. Is that what you want to do, Mr. Lychwick?
I told you I'm not well. I don't think an hour is going to make any difference, Your Honor. With all due respect to your title, I don't know how to answer you anymore.
Okay. Mr. Lychwick, I want to be very clear. This trial is proceeding whether or not you participate. So I'm giving you the option. Either you're going to be here in person, you're going to be in the holding cell, or if you're, I mean, right now you're not being disruptive. So I'm not going to force you to go back to your cell and just continue the trial without you here. But if you are just going to sit there, that's fine. The jury's going to understand that you're in jail orange. I'll give them a cautionary instruction that they're not to consider that in any way. If you exhibit disruptive behavior, though, if you yell, raise your voice, speak out of turn, it may become necessary to remove you from the courtroom. Do you understand that, Mr. Lychwick?
I understand perfectly well.
Do you have your trial materials with you right now?
No, because I am not well. I do not have my glasses with me. I am not well. I am not up. I am done answering these questions. This is insane. I have answered your questions. I have been polite and answered your questions, even though I am under extreme duress and in pain and not well and nauseous and tired beyond belief. I don't know what more to tell you. You refuse to listen to me. I hope this is being put on the record.
We're on the record.
Your stenographer recording all this, Your Honor?
My court reporter is taking down everything that's been said so far. All right, Mr. Lychwick, what I'm going to do is have the jail staff produce your trial materials.
No,
your glasses.
I do not want that taken out of my cell, Your Honor. Please, no. I am not up to looking at it. I am not up. I need to lay down. It's going to get lost and disheveled like yesterday. Your deputies dropped it all over the floor. It took me hours to put it back together again.
Mr. Lychwick, either they gather your materials and bring them up to you, or we're proceeding without your materials in front of you.
I don't want them brought up here. And I am not, I'm telling you again, Your Honor, I am not up to being here right now. I need to lay down.
Mr. Lychwick, yesterday I saw you taking a lot of notes during trial. You were taking notes after hearing certain answers. You were taking notes when the court was talking to you and citing some cases. So I know that you've been taking notes during the trial. I want you to have those notes. I want you to have your materials that you prepared.
I won't. Your Honor, I won't be able to use them. I don't know what to tell you. I am not well. I don't need that. If you bring them here, they're going to get lost and spilled all over the floor again and manhandled. Just leave them alone, Your Honor. When I feel better, I'm repeating myself again. You're making a fool out of me, Your Honor. I will let you know when I'm feeling well. That's all I can tell you.
Mr. Lychwick, then I am going to bring the jury in, and we're going to resume this trial. I'll give you one more opportunity to have about a 45-minute recess, get yourself into street clothes, get your materials, get your glasses, and prepare yourself for trial. Do you want that time, or should we bring the jury in?
I'm telling you, Your Honor, I am not ready. I am not well. I don't know what else to tell you.
All right. Attorney Thompson, does the state have any position at this point?
No, I think that the options the court laid out are the available options. Mr. Lychwick has not really made a decision. He's non-responsive to the court, so I think we proceed with the trial. The state has witnesses here, and we are prepared to proceed.
Okay. Mr. Lychwick, one more time, I just want to roadmap here where this case could go, depending on your behavior as we go forward. As I said, I'm going to bring the jury in. I will give them a cautionary instruction that they are not to consider your current clothing, your current restraints. On that note, deputies, with courtroom security in mind, can Mr. Lychwick be secured just with the ankle harness?
We could do that. Remove everyone first.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that's an option. All right. So Mr. Lychwick will make sure that your hands are free and that you are secured by the ankle restraint, but you will still be in jail clothes. I'll tell the jury that they are not to consider anything about your appearance today and infer anything from that and not hold that against you. And we'll proceed with the trial. If at any point you want to stop and get your materials, I can allow you to do that, but they'll be brought up to you. We're not going to have you go down to your cell at this point and gather those materials up. They will be brought up for you to assist you in your defense. If you become disruptive or interject or talk out of turn or speak loudly or continue to raise objections on things that the court has already ruled on, I may have to remove you from the courtroom and place you in the holding cell there. By that step, you would still be produced by video. You would still have an audio feed. We would still be able to hear you. That would give you an opportunity to still participate, but it would also give me an opportunity to mute your microphone if you are continuing to be disruptive. I would continue to give you warnings about your disruptive conduct, and if the disruptive conduct continued to the point where it was impossible to continue, then I would have to remove you and place you back in your cell. And at that point, the trial would continue with you in absentia. And I would not be appointing an attorney to represent you because you are proceeding pro se and you wanted your last attorney to withdraw. So, Mr. Lychwick, that's the potential outcomes here as we go forward. Otherwise, if at any point you want to get your materials and get into civilian clothes, we can talk about that. Understood?
No, it's not understood, Your Honor. I don't understand a thing you're saying because it doesn't make any sense. I told you what I told you. You refused to listen to me.
All right. In order to change the defendant's restraints, we are going to have to clear the courtroom again. So I'm going to ask all of the public to exit the courtroom so that the deputies can take care of that, and then we will reopen the courtroom and proceed.
All right. Wisconsin has learned a thing or two about stubborn defendants who don't want to participate in their trial. And although it took an hour to get to that point, we're moving forward. We're moving forward. Kevin is not going to get his way. He's not going to get to go back to his cell and just not participate because he doesn't like the way the court is going. I'm sympathetic. I realize that medical care in jail is not what medical care might be on the outside. I don't know the accuracy of any of his claims about his health concerns, but he seems to be able to sit and lean forward and emphasize things without too much trouble during this morning's colloquy with the judge. So whatever it is, he probably should be able to continue, especially since, unless it happened last night, he seemed quite capable yesterday. I do think he should be given, right now, a writing utensil, a short stubby pencil, and a legal pad. And he has a hole in his belly. A tear, he said. I've got a tear in my belly. So while all the cameras are looking away, what's going to happen is the defendant, who is currently in a wheelchair, may be transferred to a regular chair and is going to be shackled to the ground, only shackled to the ground, assuming he does not act out, assuming he doesn't do something rash right now. This is going to go forward. The jury will be brought in. He's going to be wearing his extra small jail shirt in bright orange. And the jury will see all that. They'll also get instruction to not consider anything about his appearance in their determination of his guilt. I'm thinking now is a good time to talk to your elbow counsel. Court watcher is running for the popcorn at this stage. She's going to have one full day of fun. Perhaps a prison escape hoodie. Yeah. He wants a do-over. Just going through in my head the rationale of the defendant and in his defense. It started out with, it wasn't me. I don't know the guy. Couldn't have been me. I live my own life. I'm busy. We never even see each other. And then eventually went to, I live with a girlfriend. I'm not always alone. We use lots of salt, bleach, rubber gloves, and garbage bags because we have a life together. That's what we know so far. If you missed yesterday, that's basically the defense argument. He has struggled in one area of court specifically, and that is in asking questions. He generally makes statements and accusations against whatever witness is on the stand. He had his awakening and realized he's not going to win, so now he wants to leave. Salt baths, yeah. I was wondering, yesterday we were going to do this as just a mental exercise. Having reviewed some of the stuff he buys, what is a perfectly reasonable explanation for quantities, 128 grams or ounces of bleach or something? Hang on 1 second, Leanne, 1 second. Hey, Leanne, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Are you going to be one of our court watchers today?
I am. I cannot wait until this afternoon.
I'm not sure if we're going to get to this afternoon the way things are going this morning. But wow, it's been
interesting. It's been interesting. And just because I have, in just a small little recap, I have had both of my brothers in jail and in prison. Mm-hmm. I can tell you, if he was bleeding into his belly, the jail is not far from the hospital. He would have been in the hospital to be checked out and then brought back. He's full of malarkey.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen.
His belly issues might be related to his excessive salt intake, a possibility.
That could be.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or he's just one of those people who he's not getting his way, and he's going to make everybody feel sorry, or try to make everybody feel sorry for him so that he doesn't have to do this today, but he's not getting his way. I love how this judge handled him.
Yeah, it's setting out the rules up front and saying, look, here are your options. All of them end with this case going forward today. It's going to happen. Now, I'm worried because the judge has also basically said, if this happens, then we'll do this. If there's an outburst, if you're speaking out of turn, if you're raising your voice and yelling, being disruptive, that's basically his next play. The judge gave him the next card. And I think we're going there because he's not going to stand for it.
I don't know. He was pretty good yesterday. I was surprised. I thought he would be more of the Sav-Sid stuff yesterday, but he really wasn't. So I was pleasantly surprised. But so far, I think he's doing good. But this does not look good for him if he's going to have to sit there in orange.
Yeah. Well, he had said he wants the jury to know, it's an important part of the story, that he is in custody. And the judge said, that's probably not in your best interest. And he said, well, they need to know. I want them to know. So that's his desire. The jury is now definitely going to know that he's in custody today. So.
Oh, I hope it plays well for him. But, it's not. Too much is against him right now.
Yeah.
So.
Terrible. Well,
Anyway, I'll be
luck.
there this afternoon. Thanks. I'll be there this afternoon with a white and blue flowered shirt on.
Wonderful, wonderful. And hopefully we'll get to hear from you afterwards, assuming everything goes as planned. So, thank you very much.
Well, it'll be interesting, that's for sure. No problem. You have a good afternoon.
See you, Leanne. Bye.
Bye.
We're going to have an afternoon court watcher with Leanne. That's going to be quite interesting. Yes, this is a Wisconsin trial. And it's gone full circle. I mean, not only does it look like the Darrell Brooks trial with how the court appears with the dark wood and everything, we have another pro se defendant trying to stall, making objections that aren't relevant. The only difference is that we don't have the Sav-Sit element that Darrell Brooks had, but the options for proceeding are very similar. He can be shut down as far as speaking. The judge can say, you're done, which happened to Darrell Brooks. There was some questioning that was just cut off and some speaking that was just cut off by Judge Darrow. He can be moved to another room in the facility where he will continue to participate by Zoom, by camera feed, which might be a little awkward for us because we're not tied into that. So I'm hoping that's not how it proceeds, because we would, with our camera angles, we would just not be able to see what he is doing. What happened to the crying boat guy? Oh, man, that's still going on. What's up with Waukesha? Waukesha's a great place. They're a little loony, says Elroth. Will we proceed mistrial? We voted 40% mistrial, 60% proceed, I think, in our last vote. So. I'm trying to see what's happening here. Okay. Defendant is present. Still in the wheelchair, sponsored by McKesson brand wheelchairs. Only the best for the jail. He has water that's been provided for him. The microphone is placed in front of him. I don't see any writing utensils, but that's at his request. Is it a bun or a ponytail? It's a bun. It's a bunt. A bunt. Bunt is that? If you guys haven't seen that movie, that's not funny at all. A bunt. Like the bunt cake. It's from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Does his shirt say XS as an extra small? Yes. We're not hearing this part, but he's not happy about something.
I'd like to make two records regarding discovery in this case. Going forward, since Mr. Lychwick does not have any of his papers with him, as we introduce paper exhibits or documents, I have asked my paralegal to start printing off paper copies to provide to Mr. Lychwick as we go along. He did have a flash drive given to him yesterday after we broke for the day. It contained all of the state's exhibits up to this point, and some that have been marked and just not admitted yet.
Can he use a flash drive?
Exhibits 82 and 83 on that flash drive were photos. I replaced them with different photos, so I will get Mr. Lychwick a copy of those as well. But that way, because he doesn't have anything with him, at least he can follow along with all of the paper discovery in court as the witnesses go up. All of those exhibits and documents have previously been provided to him through Attorney Galaviz via an evidence.com link.
Okay, thank you. And that reminds me, after we concluded yesterday, we had a brief off-the-record discussion about the state preparing hard copies of all the photos that have been admitted so far. It would be the court's intent that the parties talk about whether or not exhibits would be returned to the jury if they request them during deliberations, and the court's preference would be that photos, color photos of all of those exhibits be printed so that they can be more easily accessed by the jury. I just wanted to make a record of that.
The last thing is, after court yesterday, while Attorney Galaviz was present, the attorneys were still in court, along with Mr. Lychwick. As I was handing him that flash drive, he told me he was still missing the recorded calls. I think one of the last names that he gave was Smithy. That's S-M-I-T-H-E-Y, which made me think that he was referencing several recorded phone calls for individuals that officers spoke to in this case. They're not on the state's witness list. I don't intend to call them, but I did, in an effort to make sure that he had what he was asking for, I went back to review the property sheet. There are 3 specific recorded calls, one with Kurt Lychwick, one with Raven Frederick, F-R-E-D-R-I-C-K, and Jackie Smithy, J-A-C-K-I, S-M-I-T-H-E-Y. I confirmed that all 3 of those calls are on the evidence.com link that was previously provided to counsel, which Attorney Galaviz advised us he had given the entirety of everything he had received from the district attorney's office to Mr. Lychwick. So just so there's a record made of that, he does have everything, and he has those calls that I believe he was referencing to me yesterday when we broke for the day.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lychwick, anything on those matters?
Yes, the flash drive, Your Honor, that was given to me yesterday kindly by the prosecution was taken away from me by the jail staff. So they've denied me access to it, ultimately. I do not have access to that flash drive.
And Attorney Thompson, everything that was on the flash drive was previously provided to the defense via the evidence.com link?
Yes, with the caveat of, for example, the Exhibit 2, which is the floor diagram of Ms. Rose, Mr. Maldonado, Mr. Lychwick's, that was created as a demonstrative. So there are a couple demonstrative exhibits on that flash drive, but otherwise everything else was on evidence.com, yes.
Okay, thank you. Anything else before we bring the jury in?
No, thank you.
Mr. Lychwick?
Yes, I just want to go lay down, Your Honor. I'm not well.
All right, I understand. Let's call for the jury then.
jury.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the delay in getting going this morning, but we are ready to continue now with the trial. I have one other instruction to give you at this time. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you can see that the defendant is dressed differently today by his choice. You are not to infer anything from that, nor use that in any way against him. All right, we are ready to proceed with the trial. The state may call its next witness.
Yeah, we call Anthony Lychwick, please. Come forward, sir.
Mr. Lychwick, come up to the witness stand, please. When you get up here, please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn in by the clerk.
Nice flannel makes its first appearance.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
This dude has the wristbands.
That black bar with the red dot in front of you is our microphone. Get yourself situated nice and close to that, and start by stating your name, spelling both your first and your last name.
Anthony, Anthony, Lefebvre, Lefebvre.
Attorney Tom Bosco, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. And good morning, Mr. Lefebvre. Can you please tell the jury where you live, sir?
1512 East North Street, apartment 7.
And how long have you lived in that location, sir?
Since 2013.
Okay. So over 10 years?
Yes.
Okay. And sir, are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I just work at Walgreens, stockroom.
And do you know an individual named Kevin Lychwick, sir?
Yes.
Do you see Mr. Lychwick in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
Can you please point him out and identify an article of clothing that he's wearing?
It's not actually a beard. Those are lamb chops. Full on.
And he's the gentleman seated directly to my left. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
Yeah, I've asked the record reflect identification of the defendant, Kevin Lychwick.
The jury can make that determination.
You live in the same apartment building as Mr. Lychwick, sir?
Yes.
And which level of the apartment complex do you live on? Do you live on the ground floor or the second floor?
The first floor.
Okay. And does Mr. Lychwick live on the first floor or the second floor?
He lives on the second floor.
Okay. And did you ever interact with Mr. Lychwick, sir?
Just in passing, doing laundry, coming and going in the garage.
Okay. And based on your interactions with Mr. Lychwick, do you know whether he has a particular first name that he prefers to be called by?
Everybody in the building usually just referred to him as Conrad.
Okay. And do you know an individual named Carlos Maldonado?
Yes.
And how do you know Carlos, sir?
He also lived in the building on the second floor.
Okay. And so directing your attention to the springtime of 2024, did you install a trail camera at your apartment complex about that time frame, sir?
Yes.
And why did you install a trail camera?
So my mother could watch our garden. I also have one up by her so I can watch her garden. So.
And so you were building a garden then on the property?
Correct.
And did you talk to the property management staff about you wanting to start that garden on the property?
Yes.
Did they give you permission to start that garden?
Yes.
And did you similarly have a conversation with the property manager about installing the trail camera so you could keep tabs on that garden?
Yes.
And did the property manager give you permission to install that trail camera?
Yes.
Can you just tell the jury a little bit generally about what this trail camera looked like?
It's a white 2x3-ish square box. Just stuck it on the tree.
And when you say you stuck it on a tree, can you just give the jury a little bit of a sense? There's a hill and a wooded area to the back of the apartment complex. Is this the area where you put the camera, sir?
Correct.
And did you put one camera or did you put multiple cameras?
I have multiple cameras.
And does this particular trail camera run on what is known as an SD memory card?
Yes.
And an SD memory card, does that capture the footage that your trail camera is recording on a particular date and time?
Correct.
And if a person has a copy of that SD memory card, would they be able to go back in time and review footage from a prior time date?
Yes.
And does the trail camera that you installed, does that work on motion detection?
Yes.
Does it continue to record footage even if it's late at night, say after midnight?
Oh yeah, 24/7.
And was there a point in time, sir, in which a law enforcement official came to you and asked you for the particular footage that was on your trail camera?
Yes.
And let me take a step back and ask you this as well. In terms of the footage on your trail camera, to your knowledge, when you initially installed the camera, did you ever change out the SD memory card?
No.
So the original SD memory card that you installed the camera would have been recording throughout the time of April of 2024?
Absolutely.
It would have also been recording around the same time of May of 2024?
Yep.
And I asked you just a few moments ago about an official from law enforcement asking you for contact you in reference to your trail camera. Was that Detective Ben Stern of the Waukesha Police Department?
Yes.
And he's the gentleman that's seated a couple of seats to my right?
Yes.
And did you cooperatively turn over those two SD cards to him?
Right away.
And did Detective Stern threaten you or coerce you in any manner to hand over those SD cards?
Nope.
You did that voluntarily?
Absolutely.
And you made no modifications or any changes to the SD card until that time that you turned it over to the police department?
Correct.
Was there a point in time, sir, in late November of 2024 when you were contacted by a specialist with the Waukesha Police Department?
Yes.
And this particular individual wanted you to review some particular footage from your trail camera. Is that right?
Yes.
And specifically, this individual wanted to show you some footage and see if you recognized anybody from your trail camera. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you agree to review that footage with that individual?
Yes.
And prior to your testimony in court here today, sir, have you had an opportunity to review some snippets from your trail camera?
Yes.
And if I showed you those particular snippets of footage, would you recognize if they came from your trail camera or not?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point, I would ask that we place on the witness's screen what has been previously marked as State's Exhibit 66. Sir, are you able to see this exhibit?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this exhibit, I should say, runs about 8 seconds in length. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And I should ask you, sir, is there a timestamp on these particular clips?
There is.
Okay. And to your knowledge, just give me just a second, sir. Is the timestamp accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Now, sir, I'm going to play this particular clip from the beginning. I'm going to back it up here, and just let us know after you finish reviewing this clip if you recognize it.
I do.
Okay. This is your trail camera, sir?
Yes.
This is from the trail camera that you installed at the back of the complex?
Yes.
May I now move the exhibit into evidence and ask that it be received?
Any objection to the receipt of the evidence, Mr. Lychwick? I'll take silence as no objection. The evidence will be received.
Thank you. And, Your Honor, at this point, I would ask permission to publish to the jury.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to publication to the jury?
If I could address the jury for a minute, Your Honor?
Nope. You may not. Any objection to Exhibit 66 being used with the jury?
I am not well. I told you that already. I am not up to sitting here and participating in these procedures. I am sick, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Lychwick, I've already made a ruling on that. The trial is continuing. Without objection or over the defendant's silence, the court will allow Exhibit 66 to be received into evidence and used with the jury.
Thank you. If we could just have the TVs turned down,
Who
please.
said 10 minutes?
Anthony, may I call you by your first name?
Yes.
Anthony, just so we're clear, these clips do not have any sound associated with them. Is that right?
I don't believe so.
That's okay. Yeah, if you don't know, you don't know. But let me just play this clip for you, and then I'm going to have a question for you at the conclusion of the clip. Okay. Were you able to review the clip, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a yes? Yes.
Yep. And is there an individual depicted walking on this clip, sir?
Yes.
Do you recognize that individual?
I do.
Who is that individual?
Kevin Lychwick.
Kevin Lychwick, sir?
Lychwick, yes.
The individual you identify?
Kevin Lychwick. Oh, I just corrected. I mispronounced.
The same Kevin Lychwick that you identified earlier in court here today, sir?
Yes.
How do you know that that's Mr. Lychwick, sir?
He kind of has a particular walk, a gait to how he walks.
And in terms of the, I'm trying to move my cursor out of the way here so you can see, but is there a timestamp on this particular video, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and the timestamp is?
Is May 2nd, 2024 at 12:40, 100 hours, 31 seconds.
So this clip.
12.
I'm sorry.
Hang on. Okay. The question was answered. What's the next question?
Sure. That's 12:41, so that's 12:41 in the morning, sir?
Correct.
Thank you, sir. Okay. If we could just, take the TVs down, please, Madam Clerk. Just one moment, sir. Yeah. Anthony, I have a few other video clips.
Attorney Tombasco, in court, it's Mr. Lefevre.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, okay. Mr. It's Lefebvre, is that right, sir?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Lefebvre, I have several other clips I'd like to show you as well. If you don't mind, can we just bring those up on your screen as well, sir?
The judge just said, no first name basis here in court. You be respectful.
And this has been previously marked. Do you see that, Mr. Lefebvre?
I do.
And this has been previously marked as State's Exhibit 67. And do you recognize this clip, sir?
I do.
Is this from your trail camera as well?
Yes.
Your Honor, I now move the exhibit into evidence and ask that it be received.
Any objection to the receipt of Exhibit 67, Mr. Lychwick?
I need the cricket soundbite ready.
All right, no answer from the defendant. The evidence will be received.
There we go. It sounds like I'm going to be
Now
using
turning
the
your
crickets
attention,
a lot.
Mr. Lefebvre, to State's Exhibit, what has been previously marked, I should say, State's Exhibit 68. Are you able to see this footage, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Is this from your trail camera as well, sir?
Yes.
Your Honor, I now move State's Exhibit number 68 into evidence and ask that it be received.
Any objection to Exhibit 68, Mr. Lychwick? Without objection, the exhibit will be received.
Mr. Lefebvre, turning your attention now to what has been previously marked as State's Exhibit 69. Do you see this on your screen as well,
Yes,
sir?
I do.
Okay. Is this from your trail camera as
Yes.
well? Your Honor, I now move State's Exhibit 69 into evidence.
Any objection to Exhibit 69, Mr. Lychwick? The record will reflect that Mr. Lychwick is sitting still in his chair with his eyes closed, and he is non-responsive to the court. The court is speaking in a loud enough voice to wake up anyone who would legitimately be sleeping. The defendant is choosing not to answer the court's inquiries. Exhibit 69 is received into evidence.
Is he going to start
Mr.
snoring?
Lefebvre, showing us from marked now State's Exhibit number 70. Do you recognize this footage as well?
Yes.
Is this from your trail camera?
Yes.
Your Honor, I now move State's Exhibit number 70 into evidence.
Any objection to Exhibit 70, Mr. Lychwick? The defendant continues to not answer nor open his eyes. Exhibit 70 is received.
And Mr. Lefebvre, I have two additional clips for you. This has been previously marked as State's Exhibit number 71. Do you recognize this footage as well?
I do.
Is this from your trail camera?
Yes.
Your Honor, I now move State's Exhibit number 71 into evidence and ask that it be received.
Exhibit number 71, Mr. Lychwick, any objection to that? The defendant does not answer. Exhibit 71 will be received into evidence.
And finally, Mr. Lefebvre, I'm showing you what has been previously marked as State's Exhibit number 72. Do you recognize this footage, sir?
I do.
And is this from your trail camera?
Yes.
Finally, Your Honor, I move State's Exhibit number 72 into evidence. Ask that it be received.
Any objection to 72, Mr. Lychwick? The defendant does not answer. 72 will be received.
Thank you.
Mrs. R.A. is sending me pictures from the beach.
Mr. Lefebvre, was there a time when you knew Mr. Lychwick that you took note of any particular change to his hair color?
About a year previous to him being vacated from the building.
Okay. Do you remember about the approximate time frame, like what month you first made reference to this?
No, I don't.
Okay. For a period of time, did Mr. Lychwick have gray hair?
Yes.
And was there a point in time in which you noticed that he no longer had gray hair?
Yes.
What color hair did he have instead of his normal gray hair?
It was just a lighter color. It was no longer silvery gray.
Okay. Was there a point in time in which you noticed he had jet black hair?
That seems like what it was.
Okay. Do you remember when you noticed that?
It was a lighter color,
jet black.
A few months previous to, like, in early 2024.
Nice.
Anything from anyone?
Mr. Lefebvre, I just want to take a step back and clarify one thing. So there were a number of video clips I showed you that have not been published yet. Sir, on those particular video clips, is there an individual depicted walking on them?
Yes.
And is that individual Mr. Lychwick?
Yes.
And once again, you recognize Mr. Lychwick based on his particular manner of walking. Was that your testimony earlier?
Yes.
That's all the questions I have for you. Thank you.
Right. Mr. Lychwick, do you have any cross-examination?
I told you, Your Honor, I'm sick. I'm not well. I shouldn't be here. I need to be laying down.
The court has already ruled on that today. I've ruled on that pre-trial, and the trial will continue. Without any cross-examination, then, Mr. Lefebvre, you are excused. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The state may call its next witness.
Thank you. The state calls Karen Corcoran. And just go right up behind the court reporter.
And come all the way up to the witness stand. When you get up here, please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn in by my clerk.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. You may be seated. That black bar with the red dot in front of you is our microphone. Get yourself situated nice and close to that. And when you are ready, start by stating your name, spelling your first and last for the record.
My first name is spelled C-A-R-R-E-N. It's Karen. My middle name is Corcoran, C-O-R-C-O-R-A-N. And my last name is Gummin, G-U-M-M-I-N.
Thank you. Ms. Gummin, how are you presently employed?
I'm retired from City Madison Police Department.
How long were you a law enforcement officer with the City of Madison Police Department?
30 years.
During your 30 years as a law enforcement officer, did you have any kind of specialized training as it related to police canine dogs or working dogs?
I began working a cadaver dog independent of the police department in about 1999, and then proceeded to work cadaver dogs throughout my career. I'm currently on my 5th, and I also was a full-time patrol dog handler for 10 years for the city.
Do you currently own your own business?
Yes, I have a small business I started in 2005 called Canine Search Solutions. It's focused on providing training to law enforcement canine handlers who run tracking dogs. And then separate from that, we do cadaver dog work when we're requested, but it's on a voluntary basis. We don't get paid anything.
As part of your continued work as a trainer and a teacher, do you have a curriculum vitae that you keep up with in order to kind of keep track of everything that you do?
Yes.
And Madam Clerk, if you could please turn on the screen in front of the witness only, please. I'm scrolling down to the bottom of page 1. Do you see an exhibit sticker there, Ms. Gumman?
Yes.
And is that states Exhibit 75?
Yes.
In scrolling through Exhibit 75, is this an 11-page document that is your CV?
Yes.
And this is something that you personally prepare and keep up with, you said, right?
Yes.
At this time, I move Exhibit 75 into evidence.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to Exhibit 75 being received into evidence?
I told you already 1,000 times, Your Honor, I'm not well today. I don't know what to tell you.
Exhibit 75 will be received.
Ms. Gumman, we talked about how you were a City of Madison police officer for 30 years, and you have been training and handling working dogs for 24 years. Now, you talked about how you have had 5 dogs. Is that correct?
5 human remains detection dogs, yes.
Thank you for correcting me. Now, you yourself, as a handler, how many searches over your career have you participated in, whether it's search and rescue missions, as a cadaver dog handler?
Thanks. For human remains detection dog cases, I'm at 294 cases, and I count a case once. So often we get involved in a missing persons case, and we repeatedly go back, but 294 cases.
Now, can you describe for the jury, please, your education, starting from when you were a police officer and then kind of going through the dog training as well?
I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison a long time ago, and I got my degree at that time, a Bachelor of Arts in Behavioral Science and Law, and then I started in the Madison Police Department the day after I graduated. I had a minor in criminal justice, which was offered at the university, and a minor in African studies, and I think that's about it.
Okay. And now, is there a section on your CV that specifically focuses on the dog trainings?
Yes.
Okay. And would it be fair to say, in looking at exhibit number 75, you have routinely participated in various trainings involving police canines or human remains canines from 1995 through April of last year?
Yes.
And do you have any continuing education or training that you participate in to make sure that you are kept up to date with any advancements in this area?
For myself?
For yourself, yes.
I do a lot of trying to do a lot of research on what science and research has been done with human remains detection dogs and scent-specific trailing dogs. And I'm at this point more involved in instructing both hands-on dog handlers, and then also I do some online instruction for the Center for Forensic Training and Education, where they have me teach handlers.
Are you also in this field? Are you also a certifier for
Yes.
newer canines?
Yes, so I became a national certifying official in the realm of human remains detection through an organization called NNDDA. It's National Narcotic Detector Dog Association. It is one of several national organizations that test working dogs at least once a year. It says narcotics because in the 1970s is when it was developed as a narcotics entity, and it has since grown to be patrol dog testing, explosive dogs, human remains detection dogs. So I became I test through there, but I'm also a certifying official in just human remains detection. So teams that can qualify to take that certification once a year, I evaluate them through a series of unknown blind testing, and then they either certify or they don't.
And in addition to being a member of the NNDDA, do you have any other memberships with associations as it relates to cadaver canines?
I mean, I'm on the board of a small search and rescue entity in Illinois, and I'm also a International Bloodhound Training Institute is an organization that's worldwide that trains dogs to be sense specific, looking for live missing people, and I instruct that, and I'm also a certifying official in that entity, separate from human remains detection.
In continuing through your CV, I'm looking at page 4 on Exhibit 75. Do you have any certifications as it relates to human remains detection?
Yes. So whatever cadaver or human remains detection dog I'm working, once they're grown and ready to be in the field, I participate also, and I am tested and certified once a year to demonstrate the dog's proficiency. And that test is single blind, which means the certifying official places the height of the remains, and I work it unknown and identify with my dog where it is at, and it's odor recognition.
So I'll come back in a little bit to proficiency testing. When you first obtain a new canine, what is the process on how you start training the dog?
Okay. So it's evolved over the years, just like anything else. So the dog that was utilized in this case, Canine Moxie, her mother was brought in to rescue a pure German Shepherd, and the Madison Police Department evaluated her to possibly take her on as a police dog. She didn't want to bite anyone, which is great. So one of my colleagues took her and started her training in scent-specific trailing and in human remains detection. When Talia was brought into rescue, who I volunteer and help to the best of my ability when potential working dogs come through Wisconsin, Shepherds, Malinois, that sort of thing, I try to help place them in a working placement. And Talia came into rescue pregnant, and she had a litter of 9 or 10 puppies. And so whenever one of my working cadaver dogs is getting older, I begin the process again. After this one, I'm done. And so I had a working human remains detection dog, Canine Molly, and she was about 7 or 8. So I went and looked at the puppies that Talia had produced, and I was given the impression by everybody involved that we thought they were going to be all black German Shepherds, which is my wheelhouse at the time. And I brought someone along, another trainer, and we selected Moxie at 8 weeks old. So I brought her home earmarked to start her training in human remains detection only. She turned out not to.
I appreciate that. Attorney Thompson, go ahead and ask another question.
Thank you. Ms. Gumman, do you see what's marked as State's Exhibit number 168 on your screen?
Yes.
And what does Exhibit 168 show?
It's a picture of Canine Moxie and I in Texas after our first certification.
I would move Exhibit 168 into evidence and ask to publish to the jury.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to Exhibit 168?
Your Honor, in the name of God, I just want to go lay down. I'm not well.
All right, Exhibit 168 will be received. Any objection to its publication, Mr. Lychwick?
Turned it up a level.
All right, Exhibit 168 will be able to be used with the jury.
Thank you, Judge. And just for the record as well, all of these exhibits have previously been turned over to Mr. Lychwick, but he doesn't have papers with him, so I'm providing him paper copies. The exhibits I'll be using with Ms. Gumman going forward are 75, 76, 77 through 87, 165 through 167, and now 168. And I would ask then, Madam Clerk, if you could please turn on the screen for the courtroom.
The record will reflect that those paper exhibits have been provided to Mr. Lychwick.
And there are no staples. I took those out.
Thank you.
Okay. Is this you and Moxie in Texas then, as you discussed?
Yes.
Okay. And is Moxie still working, or has she been retired?
She retired in December of 25 at 12.
Okay. Now, once you have Moxie, and we'll use Moxie as the specific example because she is the dog that you used in this case here. So once you have obtained Moxie, how do you start that process of being able to detect the odor of human remains?
First of all, you have to use human remains, so we obtain anatomically donated, legally, human remains in different stages of decomposition. When they're young, I like to let them grow up a little bit till they're about 9 to 12 months. And in the meantime, you're just establishing what their reward or favorite toy is. And you're also imprinting where whenever they smell the odor, it's a positive experience. You feed them treats. I do 90 days to an indication once they hit about a year, depending upon the maturity of the dog. So the first 30 days would simply have the remains out in some high grass and the wind's blowing in her face, and I take her favorite toy, which is a ball, tennis ball, and lob it to the aide and give her the command to go find. She ranges out, gets to the toy, and is having a positive experience around the odor. And we do that for about 30 days. Usually it's 2 sessions, 15 days. When she's showing the ability to range out, and that's starting, and you're moving different areas, different aids. You then move to the next 30 days, which is now the toy is being concealed with the aid, and you're giving her that same picture of holding her and giving her a command to go find. And the ball is not cueing her or being lobbed at the odor, but she runs out anyhow. She finds the toy again, and another good experience, making that the positive. On the final 30 days, you identify what you want your trained final response to be, which is, in her case, a sit. Some dogs down, some bark, some touch. I do a sit. I've taught that to her at a close distance and then worked a little range from it. Now I have the toy again. The aid is out there. I give her my same picture of go find. She gets to the source. The toy's not there, but she then looks and I tell her to sit, and she gets her toy at source again. So when that becomes proficient, then you begin to teach mini problems, and then it just progresses from there.
Now, once the proficiency of the dog is established, does that mean that at this point the dog is detecting the odor and not looking for that toy or that specific item that you were initially starting the proficiency training with?
The toy is now with me, and so while we're searching, she's out ranging, and she knows this is of high value, this odor, and it's the odor of human remains. That's the only thing she gets paid or rewarded for.
Are there, or is there, a different reward toy if she works but does not give a trained final response?
Because of the nature of the work of cadaver work or human remains detection work, which is often a lot of elimination work, I work my dogs for a short period of time, and regardless of if they give an indication or they find anything, they get that toy and they get a break to play. Then we take the toy away and ask them to go to work again. And I find that that supports the dog maintaining a full day of working, and also the dog has no reason to false indicate because she knows she's, well, she gets paid for working, not finding and sitting.
Okay. Have there been times in Moxie's career where she has given you, during these searches, the trained final response?
Yes.
Are there times in Moxie's career where, as she's working during these searches, she does not give a trained final response?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once the proficiency training is completed, then do you then move to the stage of certification of the dog?
Yes.
And can you tell me, how does a canine become certified in human remains detection?
The certification entity that I participate in as a handler is National Narcotic Detector Dog. My first year I went to Texas, where a master trainer is, and that person sets out human remains in different environments. There's different categories. There's hidden, buried, rubble, exposed. The list goes on. And to certify, you have to complete at least 3 finds and no false alerts. The dog cannot urinate or eat the remains. Sorry. Usually my certifications, there's about 4 to 5 areas that I search and locate in. And I do that once a year for a certification.
When was Moxie first certified as a canine in human remains detection?
She first certified she was born in 2013, the fall of 2015.
Okay. And up until the time that she retired, had she been successfully recertified each year since?
Yes.
And on or about November 19th of 2024, did Moxie still have, or was she still certified?
Yes.
During these proficiency trainings that we talked about with the NNDDA, as part of those scenes, are there times where there are no human remains present?
During testing?
Yes, during testing.
During the certification, there's no blank area.
Okay.
You search, nothing, 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 find something. Search, nothing, 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 find something.
Okay, so the placebo that I'm talking about, is that maybe more for proficiency training?
Yeah, your regular monthly maintenance training you may have where you have an area and you don't know if there's anything in it or not.
When you are attending the certification trainings, specifically a handler, not an official, as a handler, are you given any information about the areas in which Moxie is expected to search as part of her training?
Yes, usually an area is marked off as this stretch of rubble or this 1 acre of woods.
Are you, as the handler, specifically told where in the woods or where in the rubble the human remains are?
No.
Why is that?
The testing needs to see what you as a team can proficiently locate and identify that the dog knows its odor and that you read your dog to say, yes, they're on it.
So during these certification trainings and searches then, not only is Moxie being evaluated, but also you as the handler, are you being graded as well?
You and that dog become a certified team. So Moxie and I were certified together each year. Someone couldn't slip in, and they could probably work her, but they were not certified with her. So, yes.
What is your role then as the handler when Moxie is searching an area? What are you just standing there, or are you making observations of your own or something else?
Depends on the area. I like to work them off lead as much as I can, but sometimes we have to have them on lead for safety purposes. And
I'm sorry, let me interrupt you. What do you mean by on lead?
We usually have them off lead, but if they're on lead, they may be on a leash, a 6-foot or a 15-foot long line. And that's to keep them out of traffic or what other issues there are.
Okay. Now, when you are, as a handler, when you're observing Moxie, are you also responsible for interpreting any behaviors that you see her engaging in?
All dogs all dogs have what I call tells before the trained final response, and every dog has a different cadence. Some dogs may make an audible snort and then hesitate and then perform. Some may have a flag of their tail different. Their cadence can change from forward to a 90-degree, investigating, and then an indication. So you really learn that dog's body language that cannot be cued prior to the indication, and that is something the dog naturally does.
And what is Moxie's tell, if you will, before her trained final response, if she gives one?
Some of Moxie's tells would have been, I could hear an audible snort. She may be going, moving forward and then turn hard left or hard right. Nose drops down to investigate. And then for her, she would, prior to an indication, almost always make eye contact with me, probably to see if I was watching her or if I had caught up to her, and it was just part of our dance.
What is Moxie's trained final response then?
Moxie's is a sit.
Okay. And the eye contact happens first and then she sits?
Most often, yes.
Okay. Now, when you are acting as a handler with when Moxie is searching, are there times where a dog may show, or where you have seen Moxie show those tells in an area or over an item or object, but not alert to it?
Yes.
What would be some of the reasons why a dog might, come to an object or an area and show those tells, but not actually alert?
It could be that they're investigating something that is not human remains, so they have to check it and then move on. It could be it's not strong enough for that dog's threshold to indication. It could be that the dog is checking the area to try to, in dog world we say they drive to odor. They're trying to get to the closest, strongest odor they can get to. Those would be the most common.
Sorry, I'm just writing a note here. Thank you. What is the command that you give Moxie when you want her to start searching?
Go find.
Okay. And do you have a command for her to give a final trained response?
No. When she's young and learning the program, we give them the sit or the down, and they get paid for it. But you work to a proficiency where you don't ask that of them anymore. Or if you're going to do that, it's what I call alert work, where I want to polish them. So once a month, we'll go out and it's all about, you smell this odor, I need you to sit, just to tighten it up. But I don't actually have a command for that, because either she's going to commit to it or not.
And that's not something that when you're
All
out in
right,
the
you asked for
field
Moxie.
doing an actual search
There's
with
Moxie.
law enforcement, let's say,
She's a good girl.
you are not the one telling her, or you don't have the ability to tell her, give a trained final response right here.
No, because she has the nose, not me.
We've talked about human remains detection, but as part of that proficiency training, are dogs trained to recognize or separate out the smells of animal remains versus human remains?
Yes.
Okay. And in all of your years with Moxie, has she ever given a trained final response on animal remains?
Not that I can recall.
You mentioned it a little bit earlier. You mentioned the phrase false alert. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the American Academy of Forensic Science?
Yes.
Are you a member? Or are you certified through them? Or how are you familiar with that organization?
During my journey in this work, American Academy of Forensic Science is several categories of different uses in investigating. So there might be tire mark impression people and blood spatter people, and detection dogs is one of them. The people that advise on it are scientists and dog trainers. And so there is this entity that kind of like talks about best practices, industry standard, terminology.
Is there a definition of the term false alert that is provided by this American Academy of Forensic Science?
A false alert is identified as when you're absolutely certain the odor the dog is trained in is not present. The dog gives its trained final response, and the certified handler says, yep, this is a hit.
Okay, so it would be possible for a dog to hit on a object or a location where there are no human remains, or the odor would not be there, but it only gets counted as a false alert if the handler confirms and says, yes, that is a trained final response.
Yes.
Okay. Has Moxie ever had a false alert in your experience with her during trainings?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Is that more difficult to tell maybe when you're out in the field because you let Moxie go and this is not like a training where you know exactly where the odor would be placed?
Correct. In the field, we're just there to collect information, so I can never say if she's right or wrong. I just have to articulate where she indicates if she does, and if she doesn't, that's okay too.
At that point then, it would be up to the law enforcement agencies who are investigating whatever they're investigating to be able to either corroborate that, or they look at the evidence they have to see if there are any consistencies with the location where Moxie gave her trained final response and what they know about their investigation.
Yes.
Okay. I have one final kind of general question before moving on to a specific search with Moxie. Over the years, as a human remains detector handler, have you received training about how long the odor of human remains can remain in a space?
I have anecdotal experiences, and then some science in the back of my head, but it's not coming to me. In an indoor environment, the odor of human remains can last a very long time because there's no wind, no rain, no ventilation to get that odor out. In an outdoor environment, the odor of human remains will last, but probably not as long as indoors. And a lot would depend on how long it was there and in what condition.
Hypothetically, let's say you have a a scene where there was either a gunshot wound or a stabbing. In that case, would you expect the odor to be stronger based on the amount of fluids in those particular kinds of traumatic injuries?
Comparing that to a strangulation, there would be a lot more biological that spills out and gets into the ground or into the air, into in an indoor environment, the floor, the carpet, that sort of thing.
Okay. I'd like to direct your attention then to November 19th of 2024. And Madam Clerk, if you could just turn on the screen in front of the witness, please.
Here we go. We're finally getting to the actual scene of the search.
Were you contacted by a detective with the City of Waukesha Police Department to assist in a death investigation?
Yes.
And was that location 1512 East North Street in the City of Waukesha?
Yes.
Once you were contacted by this detective, were you, or did you agree to assist by bringing Moxie to this scene?
Yes.
Okay. So now on November 19th of 2024, when you arrive at 1512 East North, what do you do once you arrive on scene?
Arrangements were made to meet at the address, and when I first got there, I didn't want to take her into the area until I gave her a break because we had driven quite a while. So I parked on the sidewalk in front of the facility, or I'm sorry, the building, and had her go potty just there on the terrace, and then relocated once I talked to the detectives to where to put my vehicle.
Okay. Where did you end up leaving your vehicle?
I pulled into the parking lot, and I would have been facing southwest.
Okay, and I have up on the screen in front of you State's Exhibit 1, which has previously been admitted. Is this an aerial view of 1512 East North where you went with Moxie on the 19th?
Yes.
Okay, so can you, that screen in front of you is actually a touch screen. If you could circle where the general area is that you first parked,
okay,
and then where you ended up moving your vehicle before Moxie got out.
And I use this?
Yes, please.
Approximate.
Okay. And then, I'm sorry, there's an arrow and there's a circle.
I don't know why that happened.
Okay, let's try again. Madam Clerk, can you erase the screen? And actually for this one, since it's already been admitted, can you please turn the screens on for the jury again? I apologize.
All right, exhibit number 1 will be published again.
Okay, now in looking at Exhibit 1, can you please first circle where you first parked when you arrived on scene?
I believe it was like right in there on the sidewalk and terrace, not in the road.
Okay, then where did you move your car prior to Moxie getting out to perform a search?
I think I did it right in there.
Okay.
So the first green marking was along East North Street. The second green marking was in the small grouping of trees just to the northeast of the apartment building.
Thank you, Judge. I would ask that this be captured as 1C, I believe we are on for this exhibit.
We will use this as 1C then. Wait for my clerk to verify the capture.
Now, when Moxie gets out of the car, does she immediately just start running around a property or field or wherever you guys end up?
No.
Okay, what is the process of how you get Moxie ready for a search or let her know it's time to go to work when she gets out of the car?
Try to have a routine, put a vest on her for visibility, and either hold on to her, get a reward toy, kind of point to the area. If we were in a field, I would just simply tuck the toy away and say, go find, and she would start ranging out. If there's a safety issue, then I have her usually on a long line, 15 feet the longest, or a leash.
Okay. And in this case, were there any safety concerns that made you decide to keep Moxie on a lead?
Oh, yes. The road, that East-North Street, is very busy. So I had to start the initial sniff effort with her on a leash.
Okay. Is there anything about having her on a leash that allows you to somehow send her a message that give a trained formal response in this location?
No.
Okay. Now, once Moxie gets out of the car and you put the vest on for visibility, did you do that in this case?
I don't recall. Most likely.
Okay. Then, once she is on the lead, do you tell her, go find?
I then say to her, go find, and she begins to move about and either begins to follow odor or just starts casting, almost like a hunting dog.
What do you mean by casting?
Casting would be, you'll see a dog out in a field catching the smell of something. They may go far left and then cut across far right, their head's up, and it's a natural cadence they use to scent.
Is it almost the way you were moving your hand in front of the jury, almost like a snake or a serpentine style?
Yeah, it's like a triangle that the dog is bouncing from one edge of across it to the other edge.
Okay. Now, when you arrived on scene in this particular case on North Street, how much information from the City of Waukesha detectives that were there did you know about the investigation?
The initial information I received was that body had been located on this property. They only believed that, they said they believed it had been there a while. How long, I don't know. And so I explained, if you want me to help with any information, you need to understand the dog is going to indicate where this body most likely was last at, because that odor's still going to be there, given how short a time frame between when it was located and when I was there.
Did law enforcement tell you where that body was specifically discovered?
I knew it was outside, up in the woods. I don't recall if I knew exactly where it was. I can't remember.
Okay. Is that generally something you may not want to know prior to starting the search?
I prefer to go into searches with enough information to know how to get the dog into an area. But I prefer not to know a lot. It just feels more authentic for me.
Okay. So now Moxie is out of the car.
That way. It's terrible.
And before I do that, Madam Clerk, can you turn on the screen just for the witness, please? Okay, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 76. As I'm scrolling through it, it's a 3-page document. Do you recognize Exhibit 76?
Yes.
After a search in which you're assisting law enforcement, do you prepare a report of any findings or final responses that Moxie or any other dog you're handling made?
I record in a police-style report what I did. Whether the dog gives indications or not, I just document the areas that were the dog had its nose in and any information like that.
Do you also include times of any changes in or any of those tells or any trained final responses?
Always try to record the time starting, and then if there are any trained final responses, to try to capture as close to the time it occurs as possible.
Why is that necessary?
I find that through years of working the dogs, more specifically in an indoor environment, they're either going to get it right away or not. And I don't want to stay in a space too long for the dog to inadvertently think, oh, Mama wants me to do X, Y, or Z. So I have a routine, and if we don't get anything, we're done, and we move on to the next thing. And the articulation is the dog is not indicating that it's getting the odor of human remains. It's not eliminated. It's just the dog's not identifying anything.
Okay. Now, I'm showing you on your screen a 14-page packet of photographs marked Exhibits 77 through 87 and then 165 through 167. I'm going to scroll through these and then I'll have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Have you seen the location in these photos prior to today's date?
I've physically been there. I guess I don't understand the question.
I'm sorry. I'll reword it. Thank you for clarifying. The photos in Exhibits 77 through 87 and 165 through 167, are those various locations of the property of 1512 East North?
Based off of my recollection, they are, yes.
Okay. Now, do those photos then also document the areas of the property in which you observed Moxie give a trained final response during her search on the 19th of November?
Many of the photos do, yes.
Okay. Now, 165 through 167, those were photos of the underground garage of 1512 East North. Is that correct?
Yes.
And these photos were taken not at the time of Moxie's search. Is that correct?
I don't recall pictures being taken while we were sniffing the area.
Okay.
I believe they called someone, and while I was still on scene, someone came and took some.
Is this, even though you weren't the one taking photos, do you recognize this garage as an area in which Moxie gave a trained final response?
Yes.
Okay. I would move Exhibits 77 through 87 and 165 through 167 and 76 into evidence.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to 76 through 87 and 165 through 167? The defendant is not giving a response. Those exhibits will be admitted into evidence.
Okay. Now, once Moxie is out of the car and you give the go find command, where does she go first on the property?
From the parking lot, she moved across it to like a concrete steps that went up a hillside. And then she pulled to what I would describe as the east along the top of the landscape wall of the parking lot, got to an area along the wooded area, and dropped her nose down, sniffed, turned around, and gave me her trained final response that she detected the odor of human remains.
On the screen in front of you, and Madam Clerk, this can be turned on for everyone, please. I'm showing you what has previously been admitted as State's Exhibit number 7. Now, Ms. Gumman, when you were on scene on November 19th, is it fair to say that this pile of sticks smack in the middle of Exhibit 7 was not there?
I don't recall those sticks being there.
Okay, so if I were to tell you this was a photo taken from October 30th of 2024 that someone else has already testified to, that would not be the same date as your search, is that correct?
Correct.
But does Exhibit 7 show the correct area of the property in which Moxie gave her first trained final response?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see in here that kind of retaining wall or the driveway area that you referenced?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at this point, you still have Moxie on a lead, is that right?
Yes.
Because of the road being so close to where she is?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you notice any of her tells before she gave a trained final response?
I'd have to review the report.
And that would be Exhibit 76 that you've testified to. So I'll direct your attention then to this middle paragraph here, starting with, I believe, the perimeter.
Should I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay. She was pulling me towards that wooded area, lowering her nose, and then she stopped very quickly, and I observed her put her nose to the soil, and then turn around, look directly at me, and conduct her trained final response.
Is her nose being down towards the soil of significance to you versus her nose in the air?
Yes.
Why?
If she is at a distance from a source of human remains odor and just by the wind currents, she will keep her head high, and she may give a trained final response, but I know she's not on it because she's facing somewhere, turns around, and indicates. Whereas if she's dropped her nose to a specific spot, then conducts her trained final, I have to assume there's either source there or the strongest amount of odor for her.
And that's what Moxie is always looking for, the closest, strongest odor of human remains?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what was the time that you gave the command to go find?
I started at 1:10 p.m. and she gave her trained final response approximately 1:11 p.m.
Is that, in your world, a very quick trained final response, or is there any significance to that approximate minute in which it took her to give a trained final response?
At that point in Moxie's career, that she really knows her odors and knows her job, so that was very quick for the average cadaver dog, and for her it was normal.
Okay.
Attorney Thompson, would now be a good time to take a short break?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, we're going to take a short break here. The court has a hard stop at about 11:50 this morning, so you're going to get lunch around 11:50. So if we take a break now, we'll go for another 50 minutes or so this morning.
Okay.
So I will excuse the jury at this time.
All right, jury.
All right.
Thank you. You may be seated. Ma'am, you can step down too.
There's a lot his lawyer would have asked
We are
her.
now outside the presence of the jury. I want to just make a record. We're breaking, as I said, about 10:52 this morning. The court will make a following record. Every other time that this court has had Mr. Lychwick in court, Mr. Lychwick has been attentive, alert. He's participated. He's interjected. He's raised objections. He's made motions to adjourn the trial. He's motioned for his attorneys to withdraw. He's protested the proceedings. He has always been alert. He has always complained about his medical situation. He's complained about his housing in the jail, but he's always participated in court. Yesterday, the defendant was alert. He was asking questions. He was writing notes. He was participating. He was dressed in civilian clothes. His hair was in a bun. He was looking appropriate. He was alert the entire day, which was a long day. We had jury selection. We had openings. He chose not to ask questions in voir dire. However, he did exercise his strikes and exercise them in an appropriate manner. He participated in his opening. He asked some questions of some witnesses, and he declined asking questions of witnesses that, frankly, the court found was appropriate because in the court's mind, from what I've seen so far, the defendant wouldn't have been challenging the testimony of those witnesses anyway. Today, the defendant looks more disheveled. He is refusing to get dressed. He has been sitting all morning with his eyes closed. He is perfectly still. Whoever has the electronic device that keeps going off needs to step out of the courtroom and turn that off, please.
Or face the wrath of Judge Moss.
I watched him for quite a bit of the testimony this morning. Despite sitting in his wheelchair for most of the morning with his head pitched slightly forward, I never observed the defendant's head nodding forward. I never heard it or observed his head falling backwards. His upper body remained perfectly still. There was no outward indication that the defendant was sleeping. At one point, the defendant crossed his arms in front of him. There were a few times when I spoke loudly enough and caught his attention, is how I would characterize it. The defendant popped his eyes open, seemingly surprised. The defendant did that a few times. Eventually, the defendant has decided to just not pop his eyes open, not respond to the court in any outward physical manner. And then eventually the defendant started responding to the court with his eyes completely closed. So he didn't go through the what I would characterize as a ruse of being startled awake and opening his eyes. He just kept his eyes closed and addressed the court. The defendant did not open his eyes at all to view any of the exhibits up on the screen. There is water on the counsel table available for him to drink to refresh himself. He has not taken a drink from that water. He has not moved in his chair. And the court has continued speaking loudly enough when addressing Mr. Lychwick that anybody who would legitimately be sleeping would be awakened by the court. So the court finds that Mr. Lychwick is continuing to intentionally not participate in his defense. The court does not believe that Mr. Lychwick is sleeping, even though he is sitting in his chair, not responding to the court, not making any movements, not opening his eyes. We will continue with Mr. Lychwick seated in his wheelchair because he is not disruptive to the court. He is not interrupting the ordinary proceedings of the court. So the court sees no reason to remove him at this time. We will continue with Mr. Lychwick seated in court. At this time, the court will be on a break until 11:05.
All right. So, judge says we're not falling for it. He's not well. He needs to lie down. I'm telling you, the ability to hold perfectly still while seated is impressive. It's very impressive. I can't hold my head up while I'm sleeping, but he seems to manage to do it. I think Mr. Lychwick is quite competent. GoFundMe for the judge's aspirin supply. You can tell the judge is frustrated. He's doing everything he can to keep court respectful, even demanding or enforcing that the prosecution addresses witnesses, even witnesses they're on good terms with, by their formal name, their last name, Mr. whatever, Mrs. whatever, instead of first name basis. And then here's Mr. Lychwick saying that I'm tired, I want to take my ball and go home. I don't like the way the game is going. The judge says, I'm going to have none of it. He gave him 4 options. If you missed this morning, the judge gave him the options, said, here's what we can do. The options included just going forward with him like that, him going back to the cell, changing into clothes, getting his hair done, grabbing his stuff and coming back up. Just the jailers going down, getting him stuff and bringing it back up. He did not want that. He's like, no, don't touch my stuff. They drop it over the floor and make a mess of it. Did not want that. And Judge Mass is amassing. I reviewed the video from yesterday. It seems that despite Ari's head leaning forward and eyes closing, he was not actually sleeping. Greeners, I was very close. I usually sit motionless while watching TV. Friend who would be asleep with his eyes wide open when we were at school. I think he still does that. Oh, that's freaky. That's a skill. Man, I sure could have used that. Yeah, I'm worried the judge is feeding him his next line of what he should do next. See Judge Carroll and Judge Everett. I'd like to see standing judge. Can't remember the standing judge's name. McNally? No, that's Judge Dad. Oakley, Judge Oakley. Thank you, Cindy Stovall. Judge Oakley would be great with this one. He does really well with even with pro se sov sits. He's phenomenal. I can go into a deep stare and block out everything, but it only lasts a few seconds. If I fall asleep, my head is bobbing, and the slight snore might come out. Okay, the slight snore is what gets me every time. Luckily, I have this mute button where I can just push it, and so if I am feeling sleepy, make sure I hit the mute button so you don't hear a or something. That would be terrible. I'd never live it down. Judge Dad would be amazing. Yeah, he wouldn't put up with it. Simpson? You thought Judge Simpson's the standing judge? He's pretty good, too. We've seen him handle a few soft sits. And now I have a yawn. Debbie, I missed your mouse, so let me go back and get it. I missed a few. Donnie Not Wahlberg, welcome to the gallery, my friend. I think you might have 2 accounts. You might be members on both. I thought you were a member before. Don't be that guy. Yeah, Debbie Wilson, member for 31 months. OG. That's a different Debbie, but welcome. 31 months. Actually, much longer. Weebug, prayers for my new filly. I'm so sorry about that, Weebug. Thanks for sharing that with us. Hope everything goes well, and pray for the weather as well. Taxi Horses, Ari, you're wonderful. Thank you, Taxi Horses. Appreciate it. Virginia Little, member for 26 months. OG. Speaking of OGs, Lee, the OG, hits the big 4-0. 40 months. OG. Lee, it's wonderful that Shell's decided to stay with you, but she wants to go out west, maybe to Alaska or something. I don't know. Abby, 30 months. Popping in to say hi. I've been MIA for a while because I got a new job. That's awesome. And I've been in training. This is a wild trial to come back to. It's crazy. I'm not sure if we're going to get to the end on this one because of the antics, but OG. So many OGs. Regina Adams gifted 5 memberships. Tag, 41 months. Tag, one of our first, founding members. OG. Very much. Get the hint, Kev. It's either or. Right. Shelly Knuckles petitioned to see Moxie. We showed you Moxie briefly. Cute dog. There's Debbie, 39 months. OG. Can I get a quick Cliff Notes version of this case? Yes, he's accused of murdering his neighbor. Now, the neighbor was found shot twice, and the body was wrapped in plastic and tarp underneath a debris pile next to the house, or near the house, not far from it. 5 months later. There's some issues. Apparently, lots of people who live there go missing. There have been lots of death investigations in this area. But we've got some things on video and some Google searches and some store receipts that the point fingers of suspicion at the defendant. Not yet enough to prove guilty. I mean, him carrying a trash bag does not mean he dumped a body somewhere. But that's all we've got so far. ACDCS Oversight Group gifted a membership. Thank you. Productive Mind AI gifted a membership. Thank you very much. And That History Guy TK, also welcome to the gallery. That History Guy, welcome. Buttercup, Rebecca, Buttercup, I send hugs on butter sugars. Thank you very much for the super chat as well. All right, we have just a moment before we come back from break. And we have time for a phone call.
Call from PNW.
PNW, how are you doing?
Hi, RA. I didn't know if you got the message, but I just wanted to say a comment really quick. I'm busy cleaning at work right now. I can hear you in my ear. And I'm like, has anyone ever told you you'd be a great radio host?
I actually took classes on radio production in college. So I know all about hitting the post and the marks and the scheduling and everything. It's fun stuff. I enjoy radio. I've been a caller. I'm not going to tell you which channel because screeners will find it and bring back recordings of me calling into talk show hosts. But I've called into a lot of talk show hosts. We would love that. Might have to do it if this YouTube thing doesn't pan out. We might have to find something else, and maybe radio is the way to go.
YouTube's panning out for him just fine. We love it. But I just thought it was so funny because the way that how you're mentioning everyone, I was just like, my goodness, he'd probably be one of the radio stations I'd listen to. All these other ones, they just sound so boring.
Well, we do have fun. We don't play many ads though. So the radio stations need ads.
yeah. But I thought I would just throw that out there and then just share it with everybody because I thought it was funny. It made me giggle a little bit.
That's fun. Thank you, PNW. Appreciate the call. And
yes,
congratulations on the new job.
Thank you.
I hope you're loving it.
Thank you. Yeah, I am actually,
We lost your voice.
working this job.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You're back now.
Okay, yeah. I've been working this job for a few months now, but I updated everybody like not that long. I updated everybody about my grandma having her stage 4 cancer.
Right.
About update everybody again that she had went home from the hospital. She went home, I think it was last Tuesday.
Okay.
She's at home now. She's resting. She seems like she's doing okay. We're just praying for her being at home now and the care that she has there. But I always tell myself, I'm like, it's a never-ending feeling every single day. I'm just like, it scares me sometimes because I'm like, when is it? Stage 4 cancer, is like a big thing.
Yeah.
Never had somebody with it before.
You're breaking up a ton. We're having a hard time hearing what you're saying now.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, I will let you guys go.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you very much for the call, PNW. And
Thank you.
Yep, we'll see you. Bye. All right. Okay, got the invoice. Scott just finished up. I sent the invoice. It ended up being $270 more due to
Lychwick matter. The appearances are the same. I'll inquire of my deputies. Did Mr. Lychwick request a break back to the facilities?
I asked him several times. He did acknowledge me that he's comfortable where he's at, and he's just happy that he's not throwing up or having to use the bathroom this time.
Okay, so my deputy inquired if Mr. Lychwick wanted to use the facilities. He indicated he did not. He was happy where he was at and was just happy that he was not throwing up or otherwise sick.
He's just happy to be here.
Mr. Lychwick is seated once again in his chair with his arms crossed, his head down, his eyes closed, like he was prior to the break. So we will continue. We'll bring the jury in.
All rise for the jury.
Thank you. You may be seated. Ms. Gumman, you remain under oath. Attorney Thompson, you may proceed.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you please turn on the screen in front of, or for everyone? And also, while we were on break, Ms. Gumman, I provided a paper copy of your report that's been admitted as Exhibit 76. That way you can refer to that if you need to as we go through the other final responses in this case while keeping the photographs up for the jury.
I'm going to go see my contractor.
Now, we were just finishing talking about the first trained final response on that footpath in that wooded area by the retaining wall across from the parking lot. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And in that search, or in that response, had Moxie had her nose to the ground?
Yes.
Okay. Now, This initial sniff, is that conducted to allow Moxie to find the area that had the strongest odor of human remains?
Yes.
Okay.
Attorney Thompson, just to interrupt, sorry, I don't believe the state moved for publication of the exhibits that were introduced through Ms. Gumman. Are you so moving for those?
I would ask to publish those previously received exhibits now that we are at that point.
So that would be the photographs 77 through 87 and 165 through 167?
That is correct.
Mr. Lychwick, do you have any objection to the publication of those exhibits that have already been marked as evidence?
As I told you, Your Honor, I'm not up to being here today. I protest.
That is noted. Those exhibits may be used with the jury.
Okay, thank you. Now moving to exhibit number 77, once that trained final response is observed on the foot trail, do you and Moxie then enter that ground level parking garage?
Yes.
Do you take her off the lead while she's in the garage?
Yes.
Okay. Now, exhibit 77, is this when you first walk into the garage and you're looking to your left?
Yes.
Okay. Exhibit 78, is that the same angle, just brighter, and now we're moving into that room that was first on the left?
Yes.
Is that, or was it described to you as like a boiler room or a maintenance room?
Yes.
When you walked inside, did that appear to be consistent with what you saw in that room?
Yes.
Okay. So now Moxie is off lead. Do you give her the go find command into this boiler room?
No.
What do you do?
We start at the entrance to the garage doors of this parking ramp or underground parking, and I gave her a command to go find. And she was off lead. She ranged out. She circled around in the garage one time, and I just always try to move along so I can observe her. And then she tucked in on her own into that room. And as I began to move in that direction to catch sight of her, she stepped out, made direct eye contact with me, and gave her trained final response, basically in the door frame.
Okay. Now, if we move to exhibit 79, is that a view of inside of the boiler room or the maintenance room?
From that doorway looking directly in, that's the picture of that.
Okay. And you said that Moxie gave her trained final response in the doorway of this room?
Yes.
Did she give any trained final responses inside of this room?
So based off of missing whatever it was in that room by her moving so quickly in there, I walked into the room and started moving around with her. I don't recall if I said go find again. By this point, we're kind of automatic. And she went and started sniffing and dropped her nose under that workbench and back out, made eye contact, and gave me her trained final response.
In going to exhibit 81, is this a brighter version of exhibit number 79 that we just looked at?
Yes.
Okay, and can you circle for me on the screen the area in which Moxie's trained final response was?
Yes.
It relates to the workbench.
I would say that's approximate.
Okay. Can we please capture this and label it as 81A?
We will do that. We'll capture it with the green circle. It'll take a moment for my clerk to double check it.
Sorry, what did I miss? Had to go check the contractor's work.
Okay. Thank you. Now, was there another location in this boiler room where you observed Moxie give a trained final response?
Yes. After that indication, I began to move through the space more methodically with her. She was self-sniffing, but moved past
she was sniffing
the
herself?
workbench, and then in that far corner, there's remnants of carpet. She dropped her nose underneath. I don't recall if she snorted or not, but she backed right out, looked at me, and gave her trained final response.
Okay. I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, thank you. Going back to Exhibit 80, is this now the corner of the boiler room in which you were just talking about with the carpet remnants?
Yes.
Okay. And, oops, I'm sorry, I don't have a brighter version of this one. But if I make the screen larger, in that back corner there, you see all those rolled up carpets?
Yes.
Can you circle on Exhibit 80 where you saw Moxie give her trained final response?
Approximately that green circle.
Okay. Can we please screen capture this and mark it as Exhibit 80A, please?
We will make this 80A.
Once Moxie gives this trained final response, does she end up leaving this boiler room?
We continued a methodical movement through that room. She did not indicate anywhere else in the room, and we exited out to move through the rest of the garage.
And is it fair to say that Moxie is guiding herself? You're not telling her where to go. Is that fair?
I prefer to always let them first commit to odor by giving their trained final response. And if I think I can, I'll try to methodically move with her in a detailing format to see if we can get closer to whatever it is that's the human remains odor for her. So everything she does is independent. Unless she gives a trained final, then I do work a little harder with her on trying to get to where it might be coming from.
Okay. Now moving then to, does Moxie go through the garage at all?
Yes.
Okay. And if I move to exhibit number 167, we're kind of coming back to exhibit 77, where we're at the threshold of the underground garage door, and that door there is for the boiler room that we just saw photos of. Is that the correct orientation of this photo?
Yes.
Okay. So then, as Moxie is independently coming out of that boiler room, do you observe her go through the garage?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in exhibit 167, we see the door of the boiler room, and then 166 is the okay. In exhibit 166, is this the part of the garage that's facing North Street, from what you can remember?
No, I think I got disoriented, like where our cardinal directions are. I thought the back of the garage, as we're looking at it, was more parallel with, is it Westmoreland? Or
Moreland Boulevard.
Moreland Boulevard. That's where I thought it was.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
No, that's okay. But this is the underground garage. As it continues, it's on the same side of the boiler room. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Then, if we go to 165, is this, if you're standing in the threshold of the garage, you're looking to the right?
Correct.
Okay. Does Moxie walk throughout the entirety of this garage?
Yes.
Does she give any trained final responses in this garage?
She did.
Where?
In this picture, where would you like me to start?
I'll start here.
Okay.
Since she came out this doorway.
So she moved along, passing dumpsters that were there. I don't know if those were the exact dumpsters. I don't know what cars were there. And then she moved between the gray car and the wall. She moved along the wall. She ended up giving a trained final response in that vacant portion in the back area of the parking stalls.
Can you circle for me?
To the best of my ability, it was not that car, and it was somewhere approximately around that pillar, but not that car.
Okay. Can we please screen capture 166 and mark it as that, as letter A?
That will be included into the record as Exhibit 166A.
Now, you indicated that to the best of your recollection, this area in 166A, that parking stall or that area was empty on that date of your search. Is that correct?
From what I recall, there wasn't a vehicle right there.
Okay. Now, does Moxie then continue along that wall and go to the opposite side of the garage?
I would have gotten her going again, knowing that we're just looking for information. And so we moved along that back far wall with no indication from Moxie that she detected the odor of human remains. And then we came along this wall and whatever was in the area, and she conducted another trained final response in this area.
This is now Exhibit 165 that's on the screen.
Thank you. And can you, to the best of your recollection, can you circle, please, where Moxie gave a trained final response in Exhibit 165?
I thought there was some stuff there, and it was in that area, is what I recollect.
Okay, can we please screen capture 165 and mark it as letter A, please?
Shady,
that will be part of the record as 165A.
From the garage, did you then go inside of the apartment building at 1512 East North?
Yes.
Did you specifically go to apartment number 13?
Yes.
How did you get from the garage threshold here to apartment 13?
We exited the garage door, and we again went along that side of the building, up a staircase, and made entry on what I would describe as the west side of the building.
Okay, so if we're looking at Exhibit 1, which I have in front of you, if I'm following my cursor, are you walking around North Street here, up the side then of Moreland?
No.
Okay, can you draw for me your path once you left the garage?
We would have gone in right about there.
Okay, so the door right up at the top of those concrete steps?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as you are walking up those steps, once you're in the building, is there a long hallway?
From what I recollect, yes.
Okay, and so do you give Moxie the go find command prior to going into apartment 13?
I did not.
Okay. Now, once you're inside apartment 13...
Clear the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going back to Exhibit. We'll start with Exhibit 83. Now, when you open the door to apartment 13, is this the view that you have when you're still in the threshold of the doorway?
Yes.
Okay, and it appears that if you go down the hallway, it leads to a bedroom. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you go straight to the left, where we see that orange iron on the counter, would that be the kitchen of this apartment?
Yes.
Did Moxie give a trained final response in the kitchen of apartment 13?
Yes.
Okay. How did you observe that happen?
Entered the apartment, would have had the door closed behind me, released her from leash, gave her a command to go find, and she is allowed to move about freely. And she ended up moving through the apartment and stopping near the kitchen sink. And then with her head more up, she gave a trained final response that she detected the odor of human remains.
We've been talking about her trained final responses with her nose to the ground. So did it make any difference to you that her head was slightly upwards in this trained final response?
To me, it's she's doing the best she can. This is what she can give me, but she's not specific to anything around that area. So it lends itself, it's either fainter, older, or there's nothing she can put her nose on.
If we go to, going backwards a little bit, but Exhibit 82, do you recognize this area of the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay, and was her trained final alert underneath inside this cabinet, or because her nose was in the air, was it more of the area?
It initially was the area.
Okay.
Yes.
Did she give a trained final response then in a more specific area of the kitchen?
I don't recall how we got those cupboard doors open. I most likely would have asked somebody if we can open them. And once the doors were open, she did again indicate, but nothing very pronounced, giving her trained final response to the odor of human remains.
Okay. Then as we go back to that front hallway at the threshold of the door, and we continue down the hallway, Exhibit 84 is a closer up version of exhibit of the one we just saw going towards the bedroom. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And once Moxie is inside that bedroom, does she give any trained final responses?
She self-initiated going in there. She did extend her nose up to an empty dresser area up higher and conducted her trained final response that she detected the odor of human remains.
Okay. Once you are finished in apartment 13, is there any other location on the property where Moxie is taken?
We did an exterior around the actual building, and she did not indicate around the building to the fact that she detected the odor of human remains. And then we went up the concrete stairs to the northwest, and I took her off traffic lead, and she pushed forward again, and then she cut more into the woods. And as I was following her, she dropped her nose down along a log, nose straight down, and then turned around and gave me direct eye contact and conducted a trained final response
and
that
said,
she detected the odor of human remains.
What is it, Lassie?
If I'm showing you on the screen now what has previously been admitted as State's Exhibit number 19. And do you recall seeing, strike that. We see concrete stairs more towards the left of Exhibit 19. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are these the stairs that you came out of the building on?
We used those stairs to go in the building, came back out, and then used one more time to get up the hill.
Okay. And then this is the hill that you're referencing?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we look further to the right of Exhibit 19, that's the direction where we're going higher up this hill. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And then at the top of that hill, is there a clearing area?
There was some area that had been maybe cleaned up from brush.
Okay. Now, in going then to Exhibit 85, are we now looking up the hill that we just looked at in State's Exhibit 19?
We are looking to the almost north.
Okay. And if you can see my cursor here, circling the top left corner, is that the top of the hill that we are going to be talking about with Moxie's last trained final response?
Yes.
Okay. Now, moving on to Exhibit 86, now we're more centered and we will go up this hill. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. 87, is this now the top of the hill?
Yes.
Is Moxie off lead at this point?
Yes.
At what point was she given the go find command? Was it at the bottom of the hill or when she got to the top or something else?
We got to the top of the stairs, got her a little bit away from traffic, released her and said, go find.
And so she went up this hill herself?
Yes.
And she's detecting or trying to detect the strongest odor of human remains?
In that area, yes.
Okay. Now, once Moxie is in this area that we see in Exhibit 87, do you see her nose towards the ground or up in the air?
She was moving forward. As I caught up, I observed that she had stopped her forward motion, dropped her nose down, and was sniffing along a log. She then looked at me and conducted a trained final response that she detected the odor of human remains.
Can you circle for me on Exhibit 87 where Moxie gave her trained final response in this area?
To the best of my ability, it's that green circle against the wooded area.
Can we please screen capture this and mark it as Exhibit 87A?
It will be captured. Please wait just a minute to confirm the capture.
I think she needs to be more confident in her answers. She's right. She just comes across as a Timu dog handler.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Gumman, we've talked about a lot of different areas of the 1512 East North property where you observed Moxie give a trained final response. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Did you find, and let me make sure I'm very specific with this question, after Moxie gives a trained final response, do you go to the area of that response to see if there are in fact any human remains?
Whenever she gives a trained final response, I'm up by her to look around and observe if I see anything. That is correct.
In any of these responses, when you were by Moxie, did you see any human remains in any of these areas?
I saw no human remains.
Now, if I were to tell you that that first photograph that we observed, or that photograph of the footpath area where Moxie gave her first trained final response, if I were to tell you that there had been human remains located in that location that had been there for approximately 6 to 7 months, what, based on your training and experience, would that tell you about the intensity or quickness of Moxie hitting in that particular area?
Based off of my life experience, I would guess that there was still bits of odor from the body decomposing into the soil, and for Moxie's nose, she could detect the odor of human remains, and maybe at a much finer tune level than anything laboratories can use to prove it.
So if human remains were found, let's say October 30th of 2024, and now Moxie is hitting in that area on November 19th of 2024, that odor could still be in the soil? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
What if somebody were to, after the remains were removed, walk through that area? Would the odor attach to something maybe that person is wearing?
Yes.
If someone were potentially gardening in that area, and let's say they take those gardening tools and put them back in the boiler room where you saw gardening tools, could the odor of those human remains follow that gardening item into that boiler room?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that Moxie is not detecting the odor of human remains of a specific person? Is that fair?
That is correct. They're trained to detect the odor of human remains. Upon death, we become generic human cadaver odor.
Okay. So without finding any human remains as you were next to Moxie during her responses, and if I were to tell you that a body was not recovered in apartment 13, based on your training experience, how could you account for the fact that Moxie gives a trained final response in apartment 13 knowing there's no body there?
Based off the information that a body was decomposing for 6 to 7 months, for a human remains detection dog, everything is probably contaminated within that driveway, anybody that's been walking around in that area. And that was the only apartment we sniffed. So I couldn't say if everybody was contaminated by it, but it gets into everything.
Would the analogy of the smell of a skunk help explain this concept of the odor transferring between objects and being in a location where there were no human remains in the investigation?
The odor of human remains could be described for us humans, because our noses aren't like it, like a skunk. When you're driving along, you smell it as you get closer. You probably go past its carcass. You keep on going, and it takes a while to miss it. If you were to drive over a skunk or where it's just been killed, chances are your car's going to smell like it. So I think it is very safe to say that due to the time of that body staying outside near the driveway and all of the gardening and yard work that's being done, couldn't help but be carried into the building by whomever was around it.
So the fact that Moxie's responses in the garage, the boiler room, apartment 13, the fact that there were no human remains there, but in taking into account this concept that the odors can move with the objects, that doesn't mean her alerts were inaccurate in these locations where we know there were no human remains. Is that correct?
Detection dogs are trained to detect the odor of something. We would love for it to be source, but often it's just odor. So where that dog's threshold begins and ends, more mature, seasoned dog is going to be catching odor finer tuned, faster, more specific than maybe a brand new dog whose database hasn't grown as much. So she is trained to detect the odor of human remains. Would love to have source, but I can't control that part of it.
I do not have any other questions for this witness. Thank you.
Mr. Lychwick, this is your opportunity to ask cross-examination questions. Do you have any questions for this witness? All right, Mr. Lychwick is not acknowledging the court. Therefore, Ms. Gumman, you can step down. Thank you. Yes, I'll take that.
Mr. Lychwick is working his way into a conviction here.
Attorney Thompson, do you have another witness ready?
Yes,
we do, Your Honor.
All right, Attorney Tom Bosco, you can call your next witness.
We call Detective Tyler Bauer.
Detective Bauer next up. Well, when Mr. Lychwick gets the defense case here soon, he's going to be well rested.
Detective, you can come up to the witness stand. When you get up here, please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn in by my clerk.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can have a seat. When you situate yourself nice and close to the microphone and are ready, please start by stating your name, spelling your first and last for the record.
It's Detective Tyler Bauer. Tyler, Tyler, Bauer, Bauer.
Attorney Tom Bosco.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Good morning, Detective. Are you a specialist with the Waukesha Police Department, sir?
I'm a detective.
Okay, so your rank is detective. Sorry. How long have you been in law enforcement, sir?
A little over 11 years.
And as it relates to your role in this case, were you assigned to help investigate the death of an individual in this case?
Yes, I was.
And that individual was Carlos Maldonado, is that right?
Correct.
And in the course of your work in this particular case, did you ever have any contact with Kevin Lychwick in this case?
I did.
And directing your attention to November 26th of 2024, did you assist with the execution of a search warrant at Mr. Lychwick's residence?
I did.
And for the record, Mr. Lychwick's residence is at 1512 East North Street, apartment number 11?
Correct.
And this was a unit that was rented by Mr. Lychwick, correct?
That's my understanding, correct.
And when you assisted with the execution of the search warrant for Mr. Lychwick's apartment, were you assigned to search a specific area?
I was.
Which area of his residence were you assigned to search specifically?
Specifically, I was tasked with his bedroom and then the living room area.
Turning your attention to the defendant's bedroom, was there a particular item on a chair next to the defendant's bed that stood out to you during your search?
Correct. There was a rope.
What?
I'm sorry?
There was a rope.
Okay. And to your knowledge, was that rope ever photographed?
It was.
And if I showed you copies of several photographs of that rope, do you think you would recognize them here today in court?
Yes.
Okay. Madam Clerk, at this point, can we please just project this for the witness? Detective, are you able to see what's on the screen at this point?
I am.
Okay. And this has been previously marked as State's Exhibit number 88. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
Do you recognize what is depicted in this photograph, sir?
Yes, I do.
Can you please describe it?
It appears to be a knotted up or tied white piece of rope around what appears to be a folding chair.
And this is the rope that you located in Mr. Lychwick's bedroom?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I now move the exhibit into evidence and ask that it be received.
Mr. Lychwick, do you have any objection to the receipt of exhibit number 88? The defendant is refusing to acknowledge the court. Exhibit 88 is admitted.
Thank you. Now, Detective, turning your attention to what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 89, do you see that on your screen as well?
I do.
And can you please identify what is depicted on this photograph, sir?
Again, it appears to be a white rope knotted or tied on what appears to be the leg of a folding chair.
And this is the same rope that was recovered in Mr. Lychwick's bedroom, sir?
Correct.
Yeah, I now move the exhibit into evidence and ask that it be received.
Mr. Lychwick, do you have any objection to the admission of exhibit 89? Mr. Lychwick is not acknowledging the court. Exhibit 89 will be admitted.
And Detective, I have one additional photo for you at this point. This has been previously marked as State's Exhibit number 90. Do you see that on your screen as well, sir?
I do.
Okay. Can you please tell us what is depicted in this photograph as well?
Yeah, it appears to be a white rope, either knotted or tied. This looks like the back of the folding chair.
And you are asked that this exhibit be received into evidence as well.
Mr. Lychwick, do you have an objection to exhibit 90 being received? The defendant is not acknowledging the court. Exhibit 90 is admitted.
Thank you. And at this point, I would ask permission to publish all three exhibits to the jury.
Mr. Lychwick, do you have an objection to publication of the exhibits? The defendant is not acknowledging the court. Those exhibits may be used with the jury.
Detective, this is exhibit number 88?
Correct.
Okay. And this is exhibit number 89?
Correct.
And finally, this is exhibit that you justified to number 90. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
Thank you. Detective, do you know whether this actual white rope was collected specifically from the residence?
It was my understanding that it was collected.
And when a piece of evidence is collected pursuant to a search, what typically happens to that piece of evidence?
It would be brought back to the police department typically and property inventoried.
And is it sealed or in some way made sure that it is not contaminated in any manner?
Depending on the item, it would determine how it was sealed. Most likely with this, it would have been in a plastic sealed bag. However, it also could have been in paper as well.
And if I showed you that particular item, would you be able to recognize it, sir?
Yes.
Okay. You know, at this point, I do have two physical exhibits. I would ask permission to approach the witness to show the witness the exhibits.
You may approach. Make sure that Mr. Lychwick has an opportunity to view those first. Mr. Lychwick, would you like to see exhibits? Are they 91 and 92?
They are actually 145 and 145A. They're a little bit out of order.
Mr. Lychwick, would you like to view exhibits 145 and 145A? All right, Attorney Tombasco, you may approach the witness.
Thank you very much.
Tired of doing the crickets. Need a cricket counter.
For the record, the witness has been given black latex gloves and a scissors as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What could go
Detective,
wrong?
Can you just look at exhibit number 145 and State's exhibit number 145A and just let me know if you recognize those two exhibits, sir?
Based on the description, it appears to be what we just talked about. However, I don't believe I was the one to package them.
I see. And those exhibits are sealed, is that correct, sir?
Correct.
And you have been provided with a copy of latex, or with a pair of latex gloves and a pair of scissors, is that right, sir?
Correct.
And if you were to break the seal on those two particular pieces of evidence, do you think that would assist you in recognizing them, sir?
Yes, it could.
Yeah, I would ask at this point that the witness be allowed to cut open the exhibit and review it.
All right, the witness may proceed.
The judge has to give permission for him to open the evidence.
Sir, have you been able to break the seal in one or both of the exhibits, sir?
Exhibit 145.
Okay. Do you recognize that exhibit, sir?
Yes, it appears to be the white rope from the chair.
And that's the same rope that you observed in Mr. Lychwick's apartment?
Yes, it appears to be consistent, yes.
Yeah, I remove the exhibit into evidence, ask that it be received.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to the receipt of Exhibit 145? Hearing none, that will be received.
And Detective, I'd ask that you do the same thing with exhibit number 145A. And that has been done, sir?
Correct.
Do you recognize the what is depicted in exhibit 145A?
Yes, it appears again to be the white rope from the chair.
And this is from Mr. Lychwick's apartment as well, sir?
It appears to be consistent, yes.
Yeah, I'd ask that this exhibit be received into evidence as well.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to the receipt of Exhibit 145A? Hearing none, it will be received.
Thank you. Judge, at this point, I would ask that the witness be allowed to show both exhibits directly in front of the jury. If it could just do a walk, 2 passes back and forth so the jury can see it.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to the use of the exhibits with the jury? All right, the detective will be permitted to use the exhibits both together with the jury.
And for clarity of the record, is that 145 that you have in your hand right now, sir?
Correct. This is 145.
Okay, thank you.
A little bit of show and tell. Looks like a cheap rope with the outer sheath and inner core strands. Nothing you want to tow a car with, that's for sure.
The record will reflect the witnesses walked back and forth in front of the jury with 145.
I've stopped doing the crickets. You want me to keep doing crickets? Sir, you're printing just a little bit. Your suit's riding up on your firearm. Makes it look a little funny. Is that a 30-round clip in your pocket?
With 145A.
Thank you very much. Detective, based on your role in this particular investigation, what, if anything, is the significance of those 2 pieces of rope that you just displayed for the jury?
It's my understanding that the rope on the chair was consistent with the rope located on the decedent.
Aha.
Detective,
that's good evidence.
You just testified regarding your role in the search of the defendant's bedroom. Did you also participate in a search of the defendant's living room?
Yes, I did.
And did you locate any items of significance to you during your search of the defendant's living room?
Yes, I did.
And can you please tell the jury what were those items that you located?
There were numerous files, photographs, articles in the living room area, either outside or inside file cabinets, or something of that similar nature, some of it including case reviews on prior criminals and notes on them or operations.
Was there one particular operation that caught your attention, sir?
Yes.
And was that an operation that was detailed as, quote, Operation Slop Shop?
That's correct.
And did you locate any notes that contained the phrase Operation Slop Shop?
Yes, I did.
And if I showed you that here today in court, do you believe that you would recognize it, sir?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would ask again the court's permission to approach the witness to show a physical exhibit.
Which exhibit is this?
This is exhibit number 146.
Mr. Lychwick, would you like an opportunity to review 146 before it is used with the witness? Mr. Lychwick remains unresponsive. Therefore, Attorney Tombasco, you may approach.
Thank you very much.
Maybe Mr. Lychwick has passed.
Detective, can you please describe what you are looking at for the jury?
Yes, it appears to be approximately a half sheet of a computer paper with handwriting on it.
Is the deceased's name, Carlos Maldonado, indicated in any way on that exhibit, sir?
Carlos Maldonado's name is on here, correct.
And is that the exhibit that you located in the defendant's living room?
Correct.
And does that fairly and accurately depict the note as you found it when you participated in the search of the defendant's residence?
Yes.
Your Honor, would now move the exhibit into evidence and ask that it be received.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to exhibit 146? Hearing none, it is received.
And Your Honor, I have a digital copy of that exhibit. It's been referenced as exhibit number 146A. I would just ask permission to publish that to the jury.
Mr. Lychwick, any objection to exhibit 146A being used for publication purposes with the jury? There is no objection, therefore it may be used.
Detective, is there any point on this exhibit where Mr. Maldonado is indicated as a threat?
There's a Operation Slop Shower. It references him connected to subjects and threats. I believe it says something along the lines of operation. It's hard to read the last word.
I see. And did you locate any other operation folders when you participated in the search of the defendant's living room?
I did.
And to your knowledge, did any of those operation photos, or excuse me, those operation folders contain any information about any additional operations in reference to Operation Slop Shop?
I believe they did, yes.
Did one of the folders have an indication regarding whether the threats from Operation Slop Shop had been neutralized?
I was made aware that there was reference to that, yes.
Yeah, that's a bad look.
That's all the questions I have, sir. Thank you.
Hang on. Mr. Lychwick, do you have any cross-examination questions? All right, Mr. Lychwick is not acknowledging the court. Therefore, Detective, you may step down. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take our lunch break now at this time. I will have you
see if he wakes up for lunch.
Report back to begin again at, let's say, 1:10. That gives you some time to go find lunch and have a break. We will see you then.
1:10, that puts us at 2 o'clock for the restart. He's not waking up. He's just going to chill there for lunch hour.
You may be seated. We are outside the presence of the jury. The court will make a further note that Mr. Lychwick continues to not participate in his defense. He is still in his wheelchair. For the last portion of the trial, he's been a little more slumped over, a little more slumped to the side. His head remains slightly forward. He is not nodding or outwardly appearing to fall asleep. The court noted several times during the testimony that he changed positions, that he's wiping his brow, that he's moving his arms, and including one of the times when the court asked if he had any objection to the introduction of some of the exhibits. The court was met with no response just moments after seeing the defendant moving. So it's clear the defendant is not sleeping. He is simply not participating in his defense. Any further record from the state before we break for lunch?
No, thank you.
Mr. Lychwick, anything else from you, sir? All right, we will break for lunch, 1:10.
Your Honor, would the court like me to bring the exhibits to the clerk as well then?
Please.
Yeah.
The judge says we have proof of life, so we're just gonna keep plowing ahead. I've watched every movement. He's still breathing. Keeps adjusting. He's wiped his brow. So there you go. We're we're not dead yet. That's all we can say. We're not dead yet. So, oh man. All right, we're going to be going to lunch and coming back at 2:00. I've got to wonder, what he tries to pull. I don't think this is his end game, right? This is moving forward. He's not stopping the ball. I think he wants to stop the ball. So we'll see if he tries to do anything further here after lunch. Let me edit this one. Okay, save that. Go back here, edit. I need the latest and greatest picture for this one. Oh yeah, we've got share, download. All right. Hold please, hold please. Edit this one. Update the thumbnail. There we go. Hope I did that right. We have a new winner on the first in chat over there. Let me make sure the portal is correctly connected. Or connected correctly. Either way. Okay. Looking good. All right, that's it. We would have more to talk about today, but Mr. Lychwick has been semi-comatose throughout trial. It's like a hunger strike, only he just shuts his mouth and says nothing. So a little bit of evidence is coming out. The slop shop paper, that's from Mr. Lychwick's apartment with apparently a hit list type thing on it with the victim's name on it, the one who said he doesn't even know. That's bad. The rope on the chair matching the rope on the body. That's bad. Imagine the state's not done. There might be more. So there's some good info. It's starting to come together, but not a conviction yet. So we'll see. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe. We go live again at 2:00. That gives you 1 hour and 3 minutes as we speak right now to come back to this train wreck in slow motion, which is the Wisconsin versus Kevin Lychwick trial. We'll see you guys after lunch. Why can't he walk? He chooses not to. He apparently took a major health decline over the last 24 hours. Yesterday he was quite animated and involved, and today he is anything but. So, guys, have a good lunch. We'll see you afterward. Kevin Lychwick trial. Yeah, we need proof of life, please, Judge. Can somebody put a heart monitor on the defendant? All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye bye. We'll be back in 1 hour.